Oh. What? What's up? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the case may be. It is, I'm just going to be watching the Rekieta Law debate. I don't know when it's starting because it certainly isn't on right now. Oh, shoot, I wanted to screen share it. Well, I guess I don't need to screen share it. This was poorly considered. All right, let's go to my channel and see if anybody's here, and if everyone thinks this is a bad idea, or if I should just go ahead and do it. Several people in the in Tug's chat or Edwin's chat were saying do it. So let's try and get Magic Mitch in here. I like turtles. Aloha, aloha. You're gonna make me watch both. I am going to make you watch both because we'll get the audio in here. But if you want to watch the video, you have to go over to Rekieta's page, which it hasn't started. I don't know when they were supposed to start it. So until that happens, let's see here. Oops. CG Live, Comicsgate Live, Comicsgate Live. Do you guys want to talk about the straw poll that I posted up today? Let's see. Aloha, aloha, aloha. About 8 minutes. It's going to start in 8 minutes. All right. It's supposed to start at midnight, which is now Eastern time. Am I coming to a Comic-Con in Honolulu? Not now, maybe sometime in the near future, but yeah, I mean, I was out there 2 years ago, so 'tis what it is. Okay, I've got the reminder. It hasn't started yet. Englandine, and that is I Love Comics, right? Commentary on my channel. I know, this is terrible. Where do you stand on politics in Comicsgate? I think politics is in everything, right? You can't really divorce politics from life, but there's a difference between having political situations, political symbology, political whatever. There's a difference between politics as part of and serving a story and a story serving politics. One is just real world storytelling. One is freaking propaganda. So yeah, I'm not completely adverse to having politics in your comics, as long as it serves a realistic service to the story itself. The story should be primary. Hey, it's Nick Rekieta.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lost-Planning the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta. Perpetually, technically incapable.
What's up, Nick Rekieta? How you doing tonight?
Today we have a discussion and debate.
I prefer Mike over listening to grown men argue like junior high kids.
We have Unranked Chevron, and we have...
Oh my gosh, there's lots of people on there. Why didn't they invite me?
Gentlemen, you guys are all on the air. If you want to say hi.
Hello. 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 Hello.
So, I apologize. I had my Streamlabs is not actually sending the data to YouTube. I don't know why.
Do you hear that? Really here, let me see.
But we are here today to talk about what Comicsgate is,
what the
future is of Comicsgate, where it belongs, all of those things. We've got some differing opinions. As you guys know, there's been some drama of late.
There has been drama.
Really that has really kind of lit up.
What's nice about this is like if I was on Nick's channel, I would feel so rude talking over him. But here we're on my channel, so I can just speak right over him, and he doesn't even notice. So
conflict or help people strategize from an organizational standpoint, and so I'm going to try and do that. Although I'm going to.
I'm not in Hawaii, Snowtip. I'm in San Diego.
I'm going to we're in Hawaii, acting in the role as, I guess, conversation director and moderator. I will be watching the super chats. I will be watching the justice chats. If you don't want to give YouTube any money, there is a link right down in the description.
Ooh, fancy.
That your justice chat will play in the top right corner of your screen, and I will be watching for those.
Be quiet.
If you have questions or productive comments, those will hopefully be addressed right away.
You should have gone there and got your debate on. LOL. Well, they didn't ask me, so I guess I'm not important enough.
All chats will be addressed, hopefully.
But feel free to super chat here. If you don't want to super chat to Nick Rekieta, you may feel free to super chat as much as you like to me.
I would like to kind of get started here. And gentlemen, the topic of the day, I think, is what is Comicsgate? There's to give some background context to that.
I'm gonna guess Ethan goes first.
Started as a grassroots consumer movement, and it was a backlash against the idea of gatekeeping and politicization. This is my perspective, anyway. Politicization in the comics book industry. From the big two, as well as Image and the other publishing houses. What it has become might be different than that, and so I would like to get some perspectives, and I will open the floor to whoever would like to go first.
No, if you open the floor, they'll fall through the moon gate.
Because it gets really hard to hear when people are talking over each other.
Yes.
So whoever wants to kind of
I hate it when people are just always talking over each other in like chats and stuff, because it's really difficult to understand what anybody's saying.
I feel like it was my video that in some part sparked this conversation.
Who is this?
I could go first.
Sure.
Yeah, like I said, or like you said, Trevor, Comicsgate, it was a grassroots consumer.
Who is this person and why is he talking
for
like that?
a while, it was just simply based on...
I'm not familiar with this person. Who is it?
This understanding that mainstream American superhero comics...
The DJ D show? Is that
really
who
bad? That they were just really mediocre.
Uncle Fred got the moon gate.
Came together. And I think that...
Oh, Unranked Chevron. Okay. Okay.
That it is just literally
I think I've been on a stream with him one time, like in all this time.
It's literally become all about solely about making money, and not so much about putting these things out and holding people to account and holding for professionalism. I mean, Ethan Van Sciver has said multiple times that he just really wants to be left alone to make his Cyberfrog comic, which is great. But the problem is that so often
he sounds like a young Anakin.
Basically, go to Ethan Van Sciver to get approval. It seems like that he is the de facto leader of Comicsgate.
Oh my gosh!
Right, which used to be a leaderless movement, and it seems like that he has used this power more than once to basically choose who he does and doesn't want in this movement.
Okay, let's be realistic here.
He's done it to Tim Lamb basically twice.
We don't want leaders in Comicsgate.
He just didn't flat out want that. And then
for the simple purpose that leaders get targeted
Fish was trying to distance himself from this. And according to EVS, according to you, Ethan Van Sciver, on the stream that he did, he flat out went to him and said, "You're Comicsgate whether you want to be or not, and I can't, because it looks bad on me, then I can't have this associated with me." And that's what it's, right? So if that's what Comicsgate is or isn't now, that it's whatever makes EVS look good or look bad, well, that's not a grassroots consumer movement anymore.
No, I think what we need is we need a consistent message across the platform of Comicsgate. You know.
This is John.
John Malin.
John Malin.
Who is this liar, Cody?
Everyone has a right. Everyone has a right. Myself,
it's terrible.
England team, everyone in the Comicsgate community that is operating a YouTube channel for a platform. Everyone has the right to allow or not allow anyone that they want on. We're all Comicsgate.
Absolutely.
I know that one of the arguments that England team Unranked Chevron had in one their streams, I think last night, even went so far as to say the new people Canadian into these crowdfunding campaigns, artists who may not otherwise have an opportunity. They wanted to start having
let us listen
on them to see if they're legitimate,
the wise, all-knowing John Malin,
not, or if they're
did not say wanted to have checks.
This happened in your stream last night. You guys were saying that these people coming into the Comicsgate, the ones that were all these new campaigns, that you don't know if they're Comicsgate or not.
Did not say anything about checks.
This is
we've been burned by people coming in saying they were Comicsgate, making their money, and then turning around and talking smack about Comicsgate. So we do.
Let's let John finish out.
It is very difficult to have this community without some measure of
let's keep moving on through that.
I don't know, checks, like he's saying, or something, but something where we can freaking figure out who's legit and who's just cash grabbing.
You were creators making money.
That a conversation was happening. I don't know.
Okay, Uncle Fred's Ghoul School for $9.99. I usually can't catch you live. Love your work. Good to catch this with allies. Right on.
To see if they're really
Thank you, Uncle Fred.
As in this being a requirement that you be Comicsgate.
I'll take your word on it.
Okay. Well, this
conversation happened.
Yeah. So let's say this happened, because it did. And it's on the channel.
Get the
so here's the thing.
You see that yellow flash says, "Get the transcripts." Call Tim.
Murphy's said straight up, he's not Comicsgate. He's
not.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't last year. Actually,
so why should Ethan have to put him on and?
David Tay, here. Let me grab the link to it. I'm watching the Ricada Law.
You guys are
great Comicsgate debate. The link is now in the chat. Oh, here comes the wise and all-knowing.
1 minute. Let me make one thing clear about this initial statement by Unranked Chevron. Unranked Chevron, how you doing tonight?
Doing okay.
Okay, it's good to be here with you. Your initial statement pointed out that Comicsgate was supposed to be about the critic movement, holding other bigger companies to account.
Also, if you're in the chat, I'm posting a poll. Check it out.
You're not talking about me, correct?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
it's a comic.
Okay.
Comic book, right?
Well, in any case, you're the critic.
Yeah.
If somebody isn't holding the big two to account, whose responsibility is that? Mine or yours?
The critic.
You had a video that just came out with it said Comicsgate on a tombstone. That's your job.
Oh,
if Comicsgate is dead in terms of criticizing the big two, that's because you guys are falling down on your job. You are the YouTube critic community. I am not. I'm a professional. Me and John Malin, our job is to provide a substitute, a better alternative to the comics that you're supposed to be criticizing.
And Mike
Miller. So if Comicsgate is a critic uprising of fans, holding the mainstream comic book companies to account, why aren't you doing your job? Why are you busting my balls? Can I ask you that? Of all people in comics, why are my allies busting my balls as I'm in here trying to build up a replacement industry to take over for the industry that you guys are supposed to be pointing out the flaws of?
You damn
right.
Why
are you aiming your guns at me?
Jealousy.
Because you're doing things that are kind of troubling.
Oh no, like troubling things.
It seems like you're making, like I said, you just said that Comicsgate is all about holding pros to account. Well, right? Why use a name that you literally own the name, do you not?
Oh, now he's just being petty.
The name Comicsgate and why we as a community decided to do that. And I know Unranked Chevron, you were not a part of that.
Flux Score, we don't swear on my channel, just so you know if you want to reword that.
We did have a group meeting, okay, where some of the senior voices of Comicsgate, got together after listening to the fans who said, protect us from Vox Day taking over the name Comicsgate.
That's right.
Now, do you want Vox Day?
No, nobody wants Vox Day.
I gotta ask you. I actually don't know your opinion about this. Are you interested? Are you interested in Vox Day owning a comic book imprint called Comicsgate Comics?
Never.
And saying, if you are Comicsgate, you're going to have to come through me and get your comic books published by me. Are you interested in having the name Comicsgate, which is associated with you and your brand, me and my brand, all of our brands. Are you interested in having Vox Day own
branding?
I think no, but I think that completely alienating Vox Day is also a bad idea.
No, it's not. It's a great idea.
It's a bad idea at all. I think
absolutely,
you're
correct. That's right. We don't want anything to do with him. Getting Vox Day's stink on Comicsgate is not good for anyone in here.
He stands for intense, hard right-wing politics in comics.
It's not right-wing. It's identity politics. There's a difference.
Comicsgate is to keep comic books apolitical, to keep them nonpartisan in order to reach the widest possible audience.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but P Money for Canadian $6.99.
We're not just here to replace far left-wing comic books with far right-wing comic books. We're here to replace.
As a consumer, I feel for you guys. I can simply walk away from comics for a bit, but Comicsgate is your bread and butter. Harder for you. Love you for that. Love you for that.
And Vox Day would have come in, as we've seen him do already, with intensely far-right political comic books.
Oh yeah.
And then
King KDI. You're asking if Vox is legit alt-right or is this something that is cooked up? No, it is. He is legitimately alt-right, and he's a ethno-nationalist, and he's a racist. So, yeah, we do not want that stink 100 miles within 100 miles of Comicsgate. So,
I have it when I'm doing something I sometimes whistle. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I apologize. I didn't even realize I was doing it. There you go.
Yeah, it's noisy. So we decided to kind of gatekeep Vox Day from having the title Comicsgate. I think that was actual gatekeeping.
No identity politics.
You're exactly right.
Comics
guilty. The way that we did that was to realize, after talking to some attorneys, that because I was already making money using the term Comicsgate.
Yeah, we've heard this argument 1,000 times. Yeah, the issue with being, I hate it when they say far right, because Vox Day is a socialist, essentially. The alt-right are socialists. They are just racist socialists. So they're very much Nazis, right? And it's when you brand, it's the great thing about rather than focusing on racism or socialism or SJWism, it's identity politics. Because it covers the wackos on both ends, right? If your whole shtick is identity politics, just stay the hell away from Comicsgate and don't get your stink on us. Thank you very much.
The wider public that we are associated with Vox Day, whether we want to be or not. And then look what happened with Turkish, right? You say that there's these same extremist far-right elements in the Discord they didn't even own at the time, and now you're controlling him because he's doing the same thing. So you went from gatekeeping. He did.
No, he doesn't even know what happened in the chat.
But he's never been.
Nurkish can go out and do a comic today. No one is stopping Nurkish from doing anything.
That's right.
But not Ethan Van Sciver.
How is Ethan controlling Nurkish?
Unranked Chevron doesn't even know what happened with Nurkish. I was there. Everybody who was in the back room saw. No. Oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot.
What are you talking about?
He has no idea.
Listen, Nurkish is associated with this community. He even says that he's tangentially or adjacently Comicsgate.
Yeah, he says he's Comicsgate adjacent.
He's adjacent Comicsgate because DNC liked his videos. He's never associated himself other than in sharing fans with Comicsgate.
He's been on all of our channels. He's been on.
And congratulations, he does that as a form of getting promotion from the very freaking beginning with Nurkish.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him Comicsgate. Oh well, I guess that's what he's saying. Yeah,
you can't be Comicsgate if you have that on the channel. Hey, look, I didn't like Nurkish. I don't like his freaking comedy. I'm sorry, it's just not my style. It's not my brand.
Dirty mouth.
God bless.
Popefire 350. Do you believe creators should stick with der peeps? Yeah.
Nobody has ever said. I don't agree with you. You go over there. I'm not going to associate you. I never associated with Nurkish. Don't like his comedy. Didn't like it. Not for a fucking moment would I ever consider, hey, you need to stop. Even when I had the words with DNC and Captain Cummings, because Captain Cummings would drop the F word for gay people all that time, and I said, we need to stop. It wasn't like you need to shut that down. No, we actually had arguments.
Why don't they just ask Nurkish?
Tell other people,
yeah,
you can't be a part of Comicsgate.
So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about necessarily. But what happened with Nurkish was like he was saying, he's not Comicsgate, and his Discord, which he wasn't even really related to anymore, his Discord was saying all this horrific anti-Semitic stuff, like right after that synagogue got shot up. And Ethan comes in here, and people are like trying to associate Nurkish, Discord, and Ethan, and trying to get that stink on Ethan of anti-Semitism, which is the furthest thing from the truth.
To what extent does Ethan have power to stop it?
And Nurkish, Ethan is bringing this up, and he's like, dude, you gotta say something about this. And Nurkish was like, meh, I don't care. I'm a free speech. And I like Nurkish, but yeah, it was okay. Yeah, these guys are all just talking over each other, so I'm just gonna talk over all of them. Nurkish is a free speech absolutist, right? Which I understand in theory, but there's certain levels of responsibility with free speech that we have to curtail ourselves. And if your name is associated with a Discord or a platform or something like that, then it is your name that is on the line, right? If I have the Mike Miller channel somewhere and people start freaking, oh, Pope Fire, can we not do this right now, honey? Why this all happens, like, you know, in my name. If crap is happening in my name, then I have to own it and I have to say something about it. And yeah, if that means kicking certain people off of the platform, then whatever. But Nurkish was like, man, I don't care. And then Ethan was just like, dude, this is my livelihood. You know, it is much more serious for someone who, and Nurkish was even saying, you know, I don't want to bring up everything he was saying because this is a private conversation, but that's the basic gist of it. Nurkish was like, you know, Nurkish just didn't see it as a big deal, and Ethan saw it as a very important thing. So that was the whole issue in a nutshell.
The guy on the Daily Wire. You said that the purpose of Comicsgate was to sell comics. No, because when you turn that around, that means in the consumer's eyes, that means the purpose of Comicsgate is to buy comics. And this isn't, that's not what this is.
Marvel's sales to increase, though?
Yes,
okay,
of course.
So what is that part of Comicsgate to increase the sales?
That is trying to say that this equals that, but that does not equal. It is, they do not equal each other.
Okay, I want to.
I guess your purpose of Comicsgate is to endlessly bitch and moan, and then nothing ever really happens. You affect the change of Marvel, but I mean, I don't
to put words into my mouth. You were trying to say because you said this, therefore that, and they don't match up. This is a consumer market. As soon as you say that this is about selling comics, that's from the point of view of the creator. That's from the point of view of the comic book professional. When you look at the point of view of the customer, you are saying that this movement is entirely made for us to buy your comics.
I don't see how that follows. That doesn't follow at all.
I mean, by all means, guys, John Malin and Ethan Van Sciver are two of the best comic book artists ever, and I have done videos saying so. I have backed up Ethan when you got attacked on the Nazi thing. I would never change that opinion. And even though I've got my voice loud, and even though we're arguing, I still consider you guys friends. But this has never been about buy my comics.
Yeah, Caliber,
he is a little clueless. Hacked me off when you went on a big show like Andrew Clavin. That was it, right? When you went on that and you said the purpose is about buying comics, because then it puts the consumer into the position of this entire movement is you have to buy. And I'm sorry, it's not.
Okay, let's.
I want everybody to support all of you.
Oh my goodness!
But that's not the central focus of this movement.
Hey guys, check out this poll again in the chat I'm posting up, and please vote on it. I want to talk about that during this, because this is a bunch of BS.
All of it. Now let me start first. Let's talk about Nurkish, and let's talk about the Nurkish situation once and for all, and what actually happened there, and what the situation was. Now Nurkish is, you just mentioned, that Jason Youngblood was able to, no matter how much we disavow Vox Day, Jason Youngblood is able to tie Vox Day to us because Vox Day appeared on the channel a couple of times, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Nurkish is a friend of Comicsgate. He says he's Comicsgate adjacent. He's been on the channel a bunch of times. He's welcome to be there. We want Nurkish here. We want Nurkish here, but the problem is Nurkish is a friend who is actively he's not watching our backs. He's allowing incredibly insane and offensive anti-Semitic stuff on a Discord that is connected to him. And now this stuff, I'm telling you, I have a good sense of humor.
I'm glad he's
This is 3 steps
telling
past James Gunn. This stuff is not cool. I mean, it's just not cool. It's not okay.
No, it was bad.
What ends up
bad
happening
stuff.
is people say this is Nurkish's Discord. Nurkish always appears on Comicsgate channels. Now, Nurkish can go ahead and say, I'm not Comicsgate. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works with the
See, this is how you know Ethan's telling the truth, because I just told you the same story.
While my name is splattered all over their headlines with this with this anti-Semitic garbage, pictures of piles of ashes with semen in it, saying this is the last time I came on a Jew. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, bad.
I can't have that associated with me. So when I talk to my friend
or Comicsgate at all,
and I say to him, you have to clean up your Discord.
Yep.
You have to do it because you are associated with us. And he says this is a guy who's our friend. He demonstrates this dangerous, selfish, immature irresponsibility. He dismisses the concerns of this community, his friends, by refusing, saying, I'm not Comicsgate. I'm not Comicsgate. I'm not going to clean up after myself. I'm going to let you guys deal with this. Now, if at this point, if you don't understand how these SJWs work, it's never honest. It's never fair. It's not about that.
Yeah.
They will do incalculable damage to this community when stuff like that can be tied to us. They will put it all over the newspapers. They will put it all over magazines. They will put it all over the internet. The fact that Nurkish just doesn't understand this is why
all right, Jay.
Blow up.
Go enjoy your football.
I'm sorry if he is tied to this community
that I didn't agree with.
Well, listen, if he is tied to this community, he can't be doing stuff like that. He chose to just say, fuck it. I'm not going to do anything about it. Fuck you. You're trying to gatekeep me out of Comicsgate. Then all of this stuff leaks out to the kind of, you guys, your crowd, you want to spread this idea that I'm telling people what to do.
Yeah, it's not
and then
true at
you've
all.
got all these young men who are out there saying, you can't tell people what to do on their Discord, Ethan. It's extremely childish. It's irresponsible. It is going to damage
it's
this
just
community.
telling somebody to act like an adult.
Even if you're not a part of it, even if you want to say, I'm not Comicsgate, even if you want to say this or that.
Tell me what it's like, Ethan, to be called Nazi for something somebody else has done or said.
It sucks.
I'd really like to know how that feels. You think?
It sucks. Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to happen to him again. And I got word.
The chat and everybody in Comicsgate, what it's like when somebody else does something
asshole,
because of that.
Hey, asshole, I know what it's like, and it's about to happen to my friend Nurkish.
We all have been a part of that.
They have his dots.
Because of what you've done. We're all Nazis. We're all a hate group. You just that is going to happen.
They have my friend's dots. They're threatening to release it and associate him with anti-Semitic. You have to understand,
just vile,
has a family, and he's not understanding what's about to happen to him.
I understand that part. I think he should have.
I don't think you acting like this is the case of gatekeeping is in.
You know, this Engeltine guy. Today is the first time I've heard of him.
No, I'm not. I don't.
Yes, Nurkish and Comicsgate
and acting as though this is a case of me exerting control over this community.
Hey, hit that poll and vote in it if you haven't already.
Asking my friend to protect himself and in return protect the community that he's associated with.
Okay. Let's have Anglican respond. Let's get a little bit of one at a time going again.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that if Nurkish was going to disassociate,
hey, smash that like buttons,
which
guy.
Is what I've heard.
Guys,
he disassociated with the Discord.
It doesn't matter.
Think, well, he should have shut it down. He should have shut it down. He should have just said, no, I don't want a part of it. Shut it. If it's got his name on it, shut it the hell down. I think he made a huge mistake. And yeah, you're right. It's gotten dangerous out there. As far as people saying you're a Nazi or you hate Jews or anything, which is the same thing. They say you're Nazi, you're racist,
yeah, but you don't give them fuel for that fire, guy.
The first time Captain Cummings said the F word for gay people since Man and Party Wig, we've been experiencing it because people misunderstood your your Sinestro book. Everybody in Comicsgate are called Nazis because of the actions of something else. Now, I agree with you. I worry about what's going to happen to Nurkic. I don't like his comedy, but I don't want this man's family in danger. I don't want anybody in Comicsgate to be in danger. But I do see those as two different things.
That puts everyone in danger.
Yeah, I don't understand how he hasn't seen
on
this.
the far left, seeing that freaking Nurkic has a server that's talking about burning freaking Jews. You don't think that puts me and Ethan and we don't hide behind fake names. We don't hide behind Nurkic's and Angle Teams and unranked chevrons. You want to talk about people in fucking danger? That's us. We're the front fucking line on this fucking shit. And you want to have someone with a fucking anti-Jew fucking server?
Damn, Malin.
Dialing around?
Malin just got me demonetized.
You literally heard me say he should have shut that shit down when he wanted to disassociate from it. You know I don't want that to happen. I just said that. So
grab an orb. That's right.
When I just seconds before said that I would hate for that to happen.
All right, clarify. We need to pull back a little bit.
I never disrespected. And I'm going to continue to respect you, dude, even though you called me asshole. There was just absolutely no call for that.
I'm furious with you, dude. Now, what would you rather I do about this? Rather than sow discord and dissent in this community, what would you rather I stand up and do for my friend in this situation?
Hey,
you guys saw this as an opportunity to cause trouble. You guys saw this as an opportunity to make videos denouncing me over this, rather than coming to me and saying, how can I help protect Comicsgate? You guys just sat around, laughed, and declared it dead. And I saw Frank Chevron's stupid ass post
as originated
Cummings thing that said, "No, it's all on fire. Now we can just watch it burn."
Yeah, you know what? That's one thing. When somebody, yeah,
it's not funny.
It's not at all.
Endangers Ethan. It endangers me. And Nurkic is the fucking pipeline to that fucking thing, and that will ruin everybody's fucking Comicsgate experience.
Nurkic is the only one.
There's nothing.
So like Ethan Van Sciver appearing on the kill stream, which was taken down because of anti-Semitic super chats. Like that can't be tied back to you. Or hanging out with Mike Miller, who said some arguably very homophobic things, and it's
Mike Miller is a fucking Christian. They're gonna say homophobic fucking shit.
all of the time. They've said about it since the very beginning. This has always been on there. And you yourself,
It's in his religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love John Malin.
You yourself on your live stream said that it was because it was going to mess up the Indiegogo.
It's in his religion.
Okay,
it is his fucking religion.
It is that there's all sorts of people around you. There's some really raw stuff that can be tied back to you, right?
Anybody saying burn fucking Jews or fucking kill black people or anything like that, fuck them. Disavowed, 100%.
Okay, hold on, guys. I don't want to mute anybody. So, here's the deal. We've clearly laid out some of the issues here. We've got a group of people who are
that's not a defense.
We've got a group of people who are associated with the community as far as criticism and otherwise creating content, not necessarily comics. For example, me, in some respect, because I do Comicsgate content as well. And then we've got people who buy comic books, right? So there are three classes of people. There are all sorts of different overlapping things going on in this community. And I think if I can look at this from the outside, because I still consider myself pretty far outside of this circle. You guys have been doing this all much longer than I have. So looking at this from the outside, I see some potential problems from an organizational standpoint. And one of the questions that I want to
Mike Miller is the issue, Brad Noble says.
Now that we've kind of aired.
How dare you insult the Ned Flanders of Comicsgate?
Does Comicsgate need an organizational structure?
I can't believe this is free.
Do we need to establish what that is? Or
I think so. I think we need
a sort of.
I think we need like a Council of Nicaea for Comicsgate to set down some rules of what orthodoxy in Comicsgate is, and it should be very, very simple. No identity politics.
unfortunate reality.
Don't be a jerk to your customers.
Comicsgate,
I don't know what else is there,
has
right?
morphed into something different, and
be all
I
about the
don't
love,
think
baby.
there's
Be
any
all about the
malice
love.
intended
You don't mind if I
anything
talk
like
over Nick
that,
Ricada?
but,
He never says anything
Ethan
worth
is
listening.
running
No,
a
just
channel
kidding.
called Comicsgate Live, which I think is a very positive thing because it allows creators and fans to go to one place to find a lot of stuff, to promote products, to find products that are being promoted, to find creators and hear from them that they're agreeing with. The problem is there's nowhere else to go.
Comic Commandments.
Is the perception. No one has built the other 20 hours of the day that Ethan is not streaming on Comicsgate Live, for example. So the question then is Comicsgate the organization or is Comicsgate the movement? Because we have cross-contamination of branding, right? We've got Nurkish's Discord being associated with Comicsgate and that being a problem with the brand that Ethan is a part of, and in some ways that Malin is a part of, and that all the creators are a part of. But they're separate things, really, in my opinion, because Comicsgate is actually, it's an idea of that is a bottom-up sort of structure. Those are almost impossible. It's like liquid fire. You can't contain it. So what I would like each of you to address, and I'd like to start with Unranked Chevron again, because we haven't heard from him too much lately, as much as the other voices. I'd like to see kind of what your perspectives are on segregating branding out between different people and keeping Comicsgate as an idea that hangs out in the background but isn't associated with any particular book, or is that impossible at this point, and does it need to be something else? And
okay, Ricada's just going on. So earlier today, because of this very conversation, I posted that poll up that I think I posted several times here already, which I'm posting again right now. This straw poll, because of like people like this, not Ricada, but these guys, you know, trying to like control Ethan, right? And I'm like, dude, Ethan has brought in so many people. I've got a poll out there. So far, there are 683 people have voted in this poll. And I just said, how did you find Comicsgate? 49% came through Diversity in Comics. 29% came through Comic Artist Pro Secrets. That means between Cummings, Ernst, Chevron, Della Rose, Yellow Flash, Umbrella Guy, everybody else, they're only about 30% of the total of people who have come into the Comicsgate community, if that poll is accurate. And so the fact that these guys are trying to hit Ethan, it just drives me bananas, because it's like, dude, Ethan alone, never mind Diversity in Comics. Diversity in Comics is like half of the market, right? Ethan alone has done more than everybody else together. Rhino. Everyone else together to build Comicsgate as a community. So stop freaking trying to tear him down, you jackholes.
Started years and years ago with people like Doug Ernst and England Teen and Cam Cummins and stuff, and that's not going away. And there are people who are still going to remain that. And then there's the business side of it, whatever that is. If that's going to be all caps comics, if that's going to be some kind of new image, if that's whatever, if there's that side of it. That's
not the only business side. It's also super chats that people like England Teen and yourself, I presume, get. So I mean, you guys are making money too.
I don't make money off this.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right. It's a hobby for him. It literally doesn't matter for him.
In fact, I'm pretty much a shill.
It is just a little hobby he does you know.
He's absolutely right about that.
When he's got spare time.
1,000 consumers.
That's right.
Subscribe to my channel. I sold a $628,000 worth of Cyberfrog comic books. The customers are here, Al.
Yeah.
They're right here.
That's
so
right.
it is a customer.
And Ethan and DNC brought them all in.
But the customers are here. The customers are here.
And they're yours, Ethan.
They're enjoying my content. They've all gathered around the warm fire of Comicsgate Live, where I do live streams, my videos and things like that. So the idea that this is only about me, that this is about money in some way, just only protecting money for... Listen, my live stream provides opportunities for so many people
that is right.
To come on, promote their comics to people.
Yep.
And get a chance at the industry. Now, if that's not your idea of Comicsgate, that's okay. I hear what you're saying. You're saying this was really about criticizing comics and we're fixing it all.
Yeah,
all right,
just
well,
complaining.
You're fixing it. That was phase 1.
Just complaining.
Phase 2 of Comicsgate
complaining.
seems to be starting with Richard C. Myers' Jawbreakers, seems to be replacing the industry of old with a new industry, a life raft, an ark, a spaceship, as Richard C. Myers calls it, where we preserve what was good about the comics.
Optimus Deadpool, I agree.
By doing them
Here,
ourselves.
I'll read it out, even though he's talking. It's called Trying to Handle Ethan. They want to manipulate him and push what their ideals are. I saw it in Gamergate, people trying to handle the bigger names through dumb call-out crap. I totally agree.
Comicsgate. So you are phase 1 of Comicsgate, what you're talking about. And I don't know, do you feel like phase 1 is completed?
Yeah, they were the kindling. They were the kindling.
Will, in all honesty.
Ethan is the freaking bonfire.
For job security. It's just one of those things where it's kind of like you have to be vigilant about freedom because it's only one generation from going away. I think it's one of these things where we should always stay on our toes because the moment we don't, it's going to come right back in because they're not gone.
They're not going away. I don't think you guys actually did anything.
Well, yeah,
I think the leftists are
let me
firmly.
Hold on, Ethan. Hold on.
Yeah. Because I promise this part we're not yelling and fighting on this. Because this is actually what I really came for. This is the discussion about the future of Comicsgate. This is really what it's here for. We really did. It did work because now you've got the Vertigo imprint. It's over there. We've got all of the what we would call SJW creators over there in the corner. Same with Marvel. You still have, you have Iceman and you have the Wasp and you have what's that really shitty one?
Yeah. DJD show. Ernst is Comicsgate before it existed. It is before Zach. Yeah, I've been fighting this fight for 20 years before anybody was complaining on YouTube. Before there was a YouTube.
I gotta say,
but
I was joking.
Like I was saying, they're the kindling. The total market. I was going back and looking at everybody's sub count. The total market, the total Comicsgate fan base prior to Ethan and Zach coming on was probably 10,000 people, right? It's like 100,000 people now. Half of those people came in because of DNC. Like 40% of the rest came in because of Ethan, and then the rest is everybody else put together. So I mean, yeah, they were there and they had ideas and they were complaining, but complaining only gets you go so far. You got to do something about what you're complaining about, or nothing ever happens. And that's what Ethan and I and Malin and everybody are trying to do.
I want to go and grab what I can and then get out. So that was what I was talking about, John. And if it came off wrong, if I actually did it, because I don't remember ever saying checks. But if that's how it came out, then yes, that was my mistake, because that was what I was trying to say.
All right, so EVS, did you still want to respond to that?
I can't. I don't even know what that was. I don't know what that was. I really don't.
Well, Man of Action says Delaraz was one of them. I don't want to bag on Delaraz, but he was saying like, I don't want to talk about it.
In my analysis of Comicsgate, and I talk about this every single day, I say that Comicsgate is broken down into 3 groups of people. It's the fans, it's the audience, it's the customers, and then it is the YouTubers, the critics, whose job it is to point the way, come up with ideas, point out, tropes, instances where far leftists have infiltrated and things that they're going to do. That's what YouTubers do. And then there's us. There's the professionals. And we put ourselves on the line. Like John said, our names are out there. There are a lot of people who do want to join us from the big 2. I mean, big names. They want to come over here and be a part of this, but they're afraid to. Because the risk of attaching their real names to this cause is going to be detrimental to them, they feel, in the future.
Yep.
I don't think it will be, personally. I think
I think in the present it will be.
To change things simply by proving that independent comics are still a force to be reckoned with in the industry. That's if we all hold together and do what we're supposed to be doing. Now, people sitting there and saying, hey, you guys, you've made it all about money. that's what we're doing. We're trying to sell comic books here. We're trying to create comic books
and make a difference
according to the wishes, the aspirations of Comicsgate fans and subscribers. We offer.
I should invite Tug into this stream.
We're trying out this new method of business. If they like it, they buy it. If they don't like it, we need to stop it and come up with something different. If John Malin's Graveyard Shift didn't work, if nobody wanted it, John Malin would not do issue 2. He would come up with a new issue 1 of something else. This is the whole thing. This is all about a new model of business for comic books. Otherwise, we're just criticizing. We're in the audience pointing and throwing tomatoes. We don't need to be doing that. We need to be up on the stage. We need to be presenting great comics to people. And we need to find a new way to make comic books actually sell. Because comic books aren't selling anymore.
Hey,
not the way that they used to.
To
They're not profitable. These people who are working in comics right now in the mainstream are starving. They're not making good livings. The 1% are. Most of them aren't, and they're angry and baffled by what we're doing here in Comicsgate with our technique, with our marketing strategy.
Yep.
They don't like it, but they're going to imitate it eventually. They have to. They have to come our way. We're doing something cool by following the same marketing plan as movies, as Hollywood.
Okay. I want to try and keep time somewhere in the realm of even. And we haven't really heard from John on the main question. Actually, I think all of you are lacking sorely in answering my question. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to re-ask it to John and ask him to kind of address it. Does there need to be a separation between Comicsgate the movement and Comicsgate the brand? Do people need to support their own brands? Like, for example, should there be
there is no Comicsgate brand,
a Malin brand, or what?
This stuff, man.
What's it, Tug?
How's it going, man? Oh man, when Malin went like raw, he went hard on that.
I would say no.
Malin's the best.
Okay,
There's no need for
separation.
There's not even a need for separation from what I'm talking about.
Can you turn the music off on that?
Well, but I was asking John Malin.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Dude, we're actually having fun over here.
Gosh, you're right. I tried to take over everything live.
Oh man, some of this stuff,
Comicsgate is a movement. That's it. We are all independent.
Comicsgate is not a brand.
YouTubers or
you supposed to realize how petty they sound sometimes, though. Not John, but people that are like, "You made money! Oh my god!"
They're both.
Oh yeah, I know. It's driving me nuts, dude. Did you see that video I posted today? It was just about drama.
Drama, yeah. I did.
Like 1,000 views. It's like
super successful. He's done 80,000 subscribers. That's his success. That's his platform. If we group under one thing, we're all going to take one big hit for everybody else's mistakes. I think it's best that Comicsgate stay of movement and everybody do their own independent thing. Now, if Ethan decides to do something with all caps and bring in more people, then that's something he's putting directly under his wing of. He's going to have to take every hit for everything that these people under his wing are saying or doing. And that's why I don't think that Comicsgate should be one big, giant, unified thing. Everyone has a different definition of what Comicsgate is. So there is no one set thing other than...
Yeah, you know what I was saying, Tug, was that we need some sort of a Council of Nicaea for Comicsgate to just nail down like 3 or 4 basic premises that if you don't agree with them, get out.
What we have, they talk about the different things. We have the consumer, we have the pro, and on. I mean, people have no idea like how that representation works, and you have people out there that want to pretend that there's only part of a movement. Like I talk about walking away from Marvel, but man, it'd be nice to have something to walk toward too, right? Otherwise, you bitch all the time. Excuse my wording. Otherwise, you complain all the time, and that's it.
Hey, these guys are swearing up a storm on this thing, so I'm trying to. I appreciate it. I'm that house guest that tries, But yeah. So what I was saying earlier is, it's like, look, we lay it down. It's like no identity politics because that deletes SJWs on the left and alt-right on the right, right? And so no identity politics. Respect your customer. I mean, and what the hell else is there?
And what we need to have, okay, if people have a problem, here's a weird concept. Go and talk to the other person. Like, you know, on your nerves.
Gosh.
Yeah. And, you know, don't leak the conversation afterwards. You know, you guys, you know, it's so weird. Maybe a little decency.
Yeah, what's funny is like some of the guys that are complaining are like just fans on Twitter, like complaining. But then these guys come on here. These guys are freaking YouTubers who have access to Ethan.
Yeah.
And they're bitching about Ethan behind his back rather than talking to Ethan.
Yeah, see, well, there's a weird thing. Okay, like I got annoyed for like a split second with something with EVS. So I texted him. I was like, dude, you know, I talked to him for a second. He said, oh, okay, and we talked for a minute. And you know what? It was stupid, and it's done with, and it's behind the scenes. It's all good. It would have been on me, and I would have looked, you know, I would have looked like a fool going out there. And these people don't understand. They look like fools going out there and taking swings.
Yeah, and then these freaking, I know it was Lim, like, copied the chat that I was involved in when I was telling Ethan, hey, if you're gonna freaking try to claim Comicsgate, fans are gonna get mad because I was bringing it to him behind the scenes, not trying to make a public spectacle out of it.
That's what I've tried to explain to people. This was a group where, you know, like if Mike invites 30 people on, well, they're not always going to show up. So instead of sending 30 links, he just parks everybody in one thing, and then he invites other people. It's not just a gatekeep exclusive. It's just the regulars that you normally invite. They're all there. Now, in those places, we talk, you know, and I mean, I
have one for Drawn and Quartered, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I have them for different things. I have one for the Night's Watch. Ethan has constantly been trying to create them to keep the chat to a minimum, and then people just take it over with chat. And then he like bails on it and starts another one. All right, let's see what
well, that's another thing. Like people have pretended there's just one. You know, I looked at these leaks there, and you know, you can tell the people leaking this stuff have no idea what's there. They're like, oh well, this person was removed. No, there's been like 6 or 7 of them over time. So
yeah.
Anyway,
did they
have everything that he
there
wants, and he has nothing that we want. So.
I agree with you completely about that, dude.
Well, and here's
man, Malin was on it.
Yeah, he got fired.
That I have for you guys, and this is just kind of coming off the top of my head. But first, I want to recognize one specific chat. It was from a wise guy, not a wise guy, you know, a wise man. Edwin Boyette says, "Aloha. Remember your commonality. Remember the 4 of you are representing all of us right now. Be gentlemen and dial back the vitriol." So it's just a nice reminder to keep in mind that the fans here are here for all 4 of you, even though there may be some disagreements. But the question that I have is, so Vox Day has this infrastructure. Ethan's building an infrastructure. Other people can certainly build up their own infrastructures. The question in all of this is, and this goes back to my central point, what's the brand? Because if Comicsgate is the brand, what's stopping a Comicsgate creator from going to Vox Day? What's stopping a Comicsgate creator from making their own platform?
The stink of Vox Day.
Comicsgate creator from going to Ethan's platform. Like if
Vox Day tried to force us all, he said, if you disagree with me, then I will take something from you and I will hurt you with it. That's
the name is protected by Ethan. That's the whole point of keeping that name away from people like Vox Day and SJWs. So anyone can go and say they're Comicsgate. It's just a movement. But if you try to take that name and slap it on a book, no, it's over. That's why we're going to pull the plug on that, or Ethan is going to pull the string on that and say, no, it's not going to happen here. Vox Day can say he's Comicsgate all day long. I don't think he's.
The problem is how far do you take that? Because it very much seems like that you're tacitly agreeing that you guys are the ones in charge of what is or isn't under this brand.
We are in charge.
It's not a brand. It's a movement.
Ethan is in charge of that name to protect.
Well, and these folks want to pretend that somebody didn't need to safeguard that brand, though. You know, this the brand, because somebody will try to brand it otherwise. So somebody had to protect it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's Antonio owns it.
Yeah.
creators adopt
right? Isn't Antonio?
I don't know. You know, I know he owns one iteration of it at least.
Yeah, like the actual trademark or copyright or something like that. And he owns it, and he's not doing it. He's just owning it to protect it from people like Box Day.
Yeah, you know, he actually wrote me about that before, right when he was writing Ethan about it. He wrote and he was like, "How is this going to look? I don't want people thinking I'm a monster." I was like, "Dude, if anybody treats you like crap, if anybody comes at you, I understand. I mean, that's something we need. You're not going to do anything bad about it. It's awesome that you thought this, you know. Set on it. If you think you get too much heat, I don't know, give it to the calmest person that you know. You know, don't give it to me, or I'll start flexing around, waving it like a flag. I'm Comicsgate, you know.
Comicsgate. All right.
Creator, it's YouTuber and creator, so forth and so on. It does not have. If you are actually talking about, well, it's all about selling the comic books, then you are creating a hierarchy in this. And I'm sorry, it just.
I didn't say it's all about selling the comic books. I said it's about keeping people like Box Day.
I know I wasn't talking about you, and once again, I am going back to what was said on the Andrew Clavin, where it was said that Comicsgate is about selling.
Well, I mean, I'm going to just argue with him real quick. The hierarchy in Comicsgate is the fans. It's not even the critics. It's not the creators. It's the fans. It's the totality of the movement that defines the movement and that funds the movement and that maintains the movement. If it wasn't for the fans, the rest of us wouldn't be here at all.
Exactly. You know, and really, you can see that one of the things that we run across, you can see, I think the YouTubers like yourself too, you hear the fans all the time as well. You hear the consumer, you know, and I mean, I hear the consumer because I'm a consumer too, but I mean, you hear this mass, and that's great. You can tell who they are right there. But I feel like some people are almost deafened to, I don't know, they're deafened to what that is. And they think there's like some kind of control status or anything.
I think you're right. I think you just nailed it on the head. When they, and you were among them, right? You were the here early, you were among the critics. You're still among the critics. I think you're going to get into creating, right?
Yeah. I'm working on
moving past criticism into fixing the problem you see, right? Well, but these guys are like, they don't like the fact that even DNC or Ethan came in and build up these huge audiences. I think it is about loss of control over the narrative.
It is. A lot of people are jealous about it. Like for me, I'm glad that there are more people out there talking. And I mean, I make my argument very simple. You know, I talk about, Ethan talks about it in tears. I say I talk about a lot of walk away and some walk toward. You guys offer the walk toward. You talk about what we're walking away from some, but you offer a solution. Otherwise, we're just incessantly complaining all the time. And these folks are mad because, you know, people, they want more than complaining. They want something else. And sometimes I think personality wise, I think people want an alternative to certain personalities.
Yeah.
But that's all a side point here.
Is this Nick again?
Creating a brand that isn't Comicsgate. Like people are talking about Ethan owning the Comicsgate name, and to some extent, yeah, but he's not. And it's going to sound like a fluff piece, but you're not building a Comicsgate comics company where Comicsgate creators will have to come through you to have a Comicsgate comic. It's just
what Fox is doing.
Yeah,
exactly. Right now,
I did, and I don't care. Like, I mean, how far is he going to take it? Is he going to gatekeep people from using? He thinks he owns Comicsgate. I mean, you know, all of this is such bullshit. Nick, I really do get tired. You know, I'm just one guy. I'm just a normal guy. Basically, what this comes down to is I own a very, very huge YouTube channel with 81,000 subscribers, and people who come on my YouTube channel to promote their comics find that their comics get funded to the tune of at least $25,000, and no one else can do this.
Yep.
No one else seems to be able to do this on their own right now.
Joshua Gilbert says 80,000 is not
looking at me. Some people really like me, want to be on my channel.
You know, for this kind of stuff, it's
They don't think that
we're covering. You know, it is.
And then
well, if you think about the comic book industry, the biggest selling books barely, you know, only like what the top 3, 4, 5 ever break 100,000. So 80,000 people watching one guy make comics, that is huge.
And when you think a crossover audience, you know, I know like different people covering different things. There's no telling how many people we actually, you know, we make up well into the, who knows how far over the 100,000, 200,000 people, because, you know, like Yellow Flash's audience, he has a almost distinct audience out there. And, you know, you can see the crossover. When I go and I look at different people's audiences, I recognize people that we all know, don't recognize others.
Yeah, I think a conservative estimate is 100,000. Did you see the poll I posted today?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I voted on that. I voted for myself. No, I'm just playing. I didn't.
You know what? I put my own name on there because I figured nobody would vote on it. I was shocked. I had 3 people.
Yeah, I had 3 people as well. I was like, "Whoa, really?" You know, that's kind of cool. Actually, I cannot tell you who the very first person I watched was, though. That's the problem there. I cannot remember. I goofed off with people, but I know who got me involved in Twitter and everything else was actually DNC. So.
Yeah, I think I watched a couple DNC videos before I started watching Ethan. I was watching Ethan's just because I was friends with him on Facebook. I mean, I've been friends with him, but you know, he would mention stuff on Facebook, and so I'd watch him a couple times. And it wasn't until that night he closed his campaign and told me I had to be Comicsgate that I was like, okay.
You know, Ethan, okay. I got to the point. I mean, I was spending $1,000 a month baseline. That was my baseline for comic book. You know? Yeah, I had $250 a week. I mean, it's a compulsion. You know, if you got the money, you spend it there. But I found that, you know, my second day on Twitter, I had been blocklisted, and I was insulted when I asked about it. I had people like Dan Slott, you know, liking I was asking, why am I blocked by these people? I had somebody cap it and say, because you're a Nazi POS, and you know, people like Dan Slott were liking. I thought, what the hell? And after about a week, that got on my nerves, you know, the way these people were acting. And Ethan was doing a lot of damage control back then, a lot.
Oh, let's hear what they're arguing about.
You're placing all of your agenda on me.
Should it be about? Hold on, guys. One at a time. Ethan, you just talked for a long time. Can Englington please respond?
Dude, there's like 700 votes on that poll now.
We're the children, so let me ask you this.
That's awesome.
Is this business, is the comic book business, is this about the consumer or is it about the creator?
It's about everyone.
I want to know your opinion. In a transaction.
It's about all of it.
Who is the more important person in a comic book transaction? Is it you or is it your customer?
Hey, everybody that's watching both, just type in the fans.
It's one that I want to know the answer from you. You are saying, you just said we are children because I'm saying that the customer should come first. You literally said
capitalism, not about one person in a transaction being more important than the other.
You are literally saying that we are children because we are saying Comicsgate should be about consumers. So
chat is saying both. It's an equal transaction.
And I'm asking you.
Not more important than the guy who's actually offering.
What's up, Sketchbook? We're watching the Rakita Law debate. Here, let me throw a link in there.
So which one do you think is the more important? Now, the whole thing was that Marvel was saying, Marvel and DC, Marvel mostly, was saying that you as a customer do not matter. And that was one of the things that started Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ethan and just said they both matter. All righty.
That's it. That's the end of the conversation, I guess.
But Ethan didn't say the customer doesn't matter. He didn't say that.
I don't know why you're
if the customer doesn't matter, you no longer have customers.
Well, if the customer doesn't matter, then why do you guys have platforms and give away free time and everything else? If they don't, you know, why do you do this kind of stuff?
Right.
In this transaction.
You are,
My role in this transaction is
you are putting the impetus on the customer.
No,
Even
I'm not.
Even the hot dog vendor is saying, buy my books.
Jesus Christ.
Buy my hot dogs.
Nick, why do we do this? Why do we have these debates? Why do we
You guys didn't really talk about what we talked about. You pointed out.
Nick is not a very good moderator.
My whole point was that this has always been a consumer.
He's used to dealing with the blood sport guys, you know, the fighting guys. So he just lets them fight the time.
I'm
that the consumer
very happy along to fulfill a market that was missing.
You are
but that doesn't mean that they are in any way, shape, or form. Nobody is, and you're saying, well, the whole point of this is to buy the books. No.
Yes. For me.
No.
Started for you, yeah. And
for me. There you go. I am now, and I'm always going to be on the side of the customer. And you are always going to be on the side of the creator.
I hope people are watching the comments too.
No, dude. Look, I am the hot dog vendor. They are the hot dog eater. My job is to create a hot dog that they like enough to want to buy.
That's
Your
right.
job is either to.
I don't think this guy understands what the free market is.
The hot dog critics. You guys can look at the hot dogs and decide whether or not the hot dogs are as good as other hot dogs, etc., etc. That's what you guys can do. But see, this is an equal transaction. I am concerned as as the creators behind Comicsgate here, as the people who are producing comic books. That's what John and I do. We're concerned about the customer getting what the customer wants. We're not customers. I'm not buying Marvel and DC comics. I get them for free. I'm sitting here going, oh, this is my job. I see Comicsgate. I see customers making specific complaints about the books that they're looking to buy. I think I can provide them the books that they want. John's like, I think I can do that too.
What that means is that it's
wait. Hold on, Ethan. Let unranked get in there.
Right. And the problem that I have is that you, in the course of doing that, which all by itself, selling your product, like I said, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you making a lot of money. I hope you continue to make a lot of money.
Oh, by the way, here's page 2 of
came into this community. First, it was really cool to have one of the big
LONESTAR 2, Soul of the Soldier.
Ever, to
if anybody wants to check that out.
After a while, that's all it becomes about. It becomes about
you see that, Todd?
What can make Ethan Van Sciver look good? What can make Ethan Van Sciver look good? It's like,
that's awesome, man. Yeah.
It was like beyond just something.
I love what our audience, what you guys are creating. Yeah, there's so much stuff. That's all my kind of flair right there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that
you're original art as well, Mike, or what are you doing?
Me.
Come again?
What are you doing with your original art? Are you auctioning it or?
No, I'm keeping it.
Oh.
I'm keeping it, man. Here's the page. Here's page 1, though.
Yeah, see, that's sexy. That needs to be at somebody's house. I love it, man. When you, I'm telling you, I pushed some of your stuff, but I pushed it with Edwin more. When you come out of the gate this time again, you let me know. We're gonna go hard at it. We're gonna.
Thanks, man. The Soul of the Soldier one I'm not gonna do until probably next year. But my next one that I'm gonna launch is gonna be the 3 different trade paperbacks, the graphic novels. That should be hopefully next week.
Well, like I said, you let me know. I'll throw it out there. Mention it on both platforms. We'll have a good time with it. Let's see what we can get done.
Yeah, right on. Appreciate it.
Now you're talking about what Comicsgate was, and that's fine. But Comicsgate is something different now, like it or not. So the question is, how do you, and who bears the responsibility to do this? How do we shift the, I guess, the lopsidedness of Comicsgate away from the large gravity centers of guys like Ethan, of guys like Diversity in Comics, and of course John Malin. The bigger creators are going to have bigger people pooling around them. So how do you balance the ship?
Why would you want to shift it?
On that, if you could.
No, Comicsgate is a market.
It shifts as it's a market in what people consume as far as ideas too.
Yeah.
Like how do you shift that? You grow a channel or whatever else, you know, you grind and you talk to the consumer and let them love you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's the consumer, the customer, the fan that decides what channels get the biggest voices because they're the ones that go to it.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and I mean, you offer something all the freaking time. I don't know. Like, you've got to be honest. Some of these people, they drown in pettiness, and the consumer picks that up. And you know, they're already disgruntled about something. They want something to feel good about. Well, that doesn't make them feel good. They just want to point their finger, laugh, and have a fun time. And
yeah. Hey, I got a couple questions. Downshift, how come you never have Mitch on your show? Mitch is really busy. I do send him out invites, and he always very politely says that he's just, you know, slammed. So hopefully his schedule will lighten up and he'll be able to jump on some more. My Sketchbook asks, why is Unranked even on there? I don't know.
Because he did a video called Comics Gate is Dead, and there was a lot of response to it, and I think Ethan saw it and he wanted to talk about it. You know, he wanted to talk about what it was.
He surpassed that immensely, and Ethan he could have been first. I think Ethan used a little bit extra time, but he came out second and blew right past us. Now, if Jawbreakers and Cyberfrog had only ever met their initial goals of 15,000, nobody would be saying anything about gatekeeping. This whole thing would have just moved along. Ethan still would be doing videos and still building an audience, and eventually he would have got to that $500,000, $600,000 mark. I mean, this is very largely about how much money. Even on Unranked Chevron there, it came out, you know, it's about the money to him and his friends. Well, guess what? If we only would have made $8,000, nobody would have cared about the money to him and his friends. It's that they were super, super successful. And it rocked this industry to the core. It brought a lot of attention to Richard, Heath, and myself. And I'm sorry, that will make people in the community who have been here much longer feel like they may not be as important.
Every time they say that, I go in their chat and I put, and Mike S. Miller.
You know, Captain Cummings, Captain Frugal, all these guys are important to Comicsgate. You know, it is still a movement. Every voice matters in this, you know, this thing that we are. But look, let's not pretend that the huge success of these Indiegogo, you know, where now common Indiegogos is not impacting people's own feelings about what they've done in the community or their own self-worth in the community. You're all important, but you know, everyone's going to have to build up their subscriber base to 60,000 to do what Richard did and what Ethan did, and they did it in a very short amount of time.
Yeah,
because they're very charismatic. They're good front people. Not everyone has that gift, and it's going to take longer for people to get up to these points. But once you're at 80,000, you won't need to be hammering on Ethan Van Sciver because he's gatekeeping, because you won't care.
Yeah, it's all just jealousy.
Yeah, I just, again, you know, what we're doing here for Comicsgate, and I'm telling you, John, I'm getting tired. I really am. I'm just a person, you know what I mean? I'm just one guy. And I'm getting tired. I don't know what I get out of this.
Thanks, DJD.
Indiegogo next year. We're doing Rainbow Brute, and it's going to do great. It's going to do better than Cyberfrog because Cecil's involved now.
Yeah.
So
do you hear about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was on a panel. I got lucky and saw that. Holy crap! You know, that's a huge one.
That does seem to be rooted in some kind of envy or weirded out jealousy. We have figured out a way. We have figured out a method to make comic books tremendously successful through Indiegogo. That's what we've done. We figured out a way to do that. It doesn't. I mean, it involves the principles of Comicsgate. I listened to Richard C. Meyer talk for a long time and Captain Cummings about what was wrong with the industry, how creators were treating their fans, and what they were doing with the comics themselves that were bothering people. And I listened and I agreed. I agreed with him as a professional, not as a fan, not as a customer, as a professional. I think that's right. And I think that if I'm able to actually take those ideas you know, from what I've learned about the customers and what they want, and implement them in my own product, I think I might be tremendously successful. Richard C. Meyer and I both talked about this behind the scenes. We decided we were going to do Indiegogo campaigns, and he said he wanted to go first. So he did his, I did mine, and sure enough, you know, we were tremendously successful. Now, we are leading the way and lighting the way for other people to do what we've done.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want other people to follow in our footsteps. They already are. I mean, people are making a lot of money.
What Richard and Ethan did was prove a business model. And I mean, it depends on the size of your following. That business model has been proven now. How many times with we've got like 60 different Indiegogos in Comicsgate, right? And what percentage of those are proving this business model over and over and over again? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, when you go through this stuff too, you know, the problem is going to be as more come up, people are not following the model all the way. Some people just come out of the blue. They scream, "I'm Comicsgate," and you know, give me money, and that doesn't work.
And then they cry and they blame Ethan when they didn't get on his show. It's like, I saw it, and Ethan's like, you know, start a YouTube channel, build your audience, and I'm like, I see what you guys are doing, and I was like, you know, I didn't want to launch my Indiegogo until I had 1,000 subscribers of my own, and so that's what I did. I waited, got to 1,000, and then I launched, and now I'm at 3,600, man. So hopefully my next one will be bigger. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it, you know, and I mean, crossover promotion is very important too. I think as we, you know, we build up this, everybody gets to know names. We all goof off. They all know us as I mean, we do have, I hate the word community when I look out there with the industry, but we have merit in here. So why can't we have community too?
Right. Yeah.
I haven't created a comic book yet, no.
Okay, but so up until this point, at least you've been a comics.
So up until now, yeah, I'm more of a commentator. Yeah.
Okay, so then we have, and pardon me, I'm trying to simplify things as the night goes on for various reasons. John and Ethan.
Has he been drinking?
Creator sort of camp, and then you and Unranked Chevron are in a sort of critic.
Box day.
Is it the commentators?
Oh, the Box Day drinking game.
Yeah. Move into phase 2 in a different way? Is it the commentators' role to stay in phase 1 and keep criticizing the industry? Do you guys have a role in criticizing Comicsgate? And is there a way to?
Hey there, $2 from the umbrella guy.
You know, if you like this kind of content from Mike, make sure you back his channel, man. You can just push that little button down there, and seriously, he doesn't shill you there or anything like that. But make sure you give him love. He brings you a product. This is a product too. You know, it's make it part of that time as well.
Do you want I actually think
thank you.
What we're talking about here is two sides of the
What he said was smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that super chat button. That's what I said.
Or the super chat button too. That's all. So.
Yeah, just smash them all.
Yeah, smash that share button. That's the important one. Share it. Get it out there. Let people know that you're here hanging out.
It doesn't have to be one way or the other. When I'm arguing here, it has always been, yet the focus should remain on the customer. You know, so I actually believe that.
Aloha, Edwin Boy at $2. Get in here, Edwin. We sent you the link. You sent on the link, right?
Or Ethan.
Yeah, get in here, Edwin, for real.
Your channel like this, of course I'm going to tell them.
I mean, for $2, Edwin Boy at
Aloha. All caps and DNC's got his thing, and what was it going to be? Splato Gatto is going to be his company, hopefully. Yeah. So we're all individuals, but absolutely we can work together.
Iwazaru says, I want Malin to yell some more.
Not only
yeah, he blew up earlier. That was awesome. It was actually really good.
We're coming in and helping out there, but we also have the people like myself.
Edwin said I'll be right in.
Likely, actually, Frugal, I think, is working on a book too. Division, so forth, Weaponized Nerve Rage. We can be, he's also working on some also, but he's also commentary. But we could be the ones that are making sure that Marvel and DC.
Comment on them real quick. and the whole situation. I mean, Zach found it to be true, and I mean, I think it's fair when you move from the critic to the creator stage. Once you're a professional, it's really uncouth to criticize other professionals. So I don't know how you want to navigate that when you go from critic to, although you deal more with numbers than actually targeting particular people, right?
I also talk mostly about, I do talk about some professionalism, and one thing with that is this will never be my day job. This is just, it won't, it'll, so when I'm looking at that, I wonder too, with an audience, what's the expectation that they have when they look at this kind of stuff? They backed you knowing who you were. So do they have this expectation that you're going to change who you are or what you cover?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to criticize someone as a person. Like I'm fully, as a professional and as someone who's worked with Mark Waid, fully capable of saying, Mark Waid, you're being an idiot or a douchebag or whatever. Same thing with Eric Larson. I mean, I was friends with him for 2 decades, and he's turned into the biggest SJW butt wipe in the nation. But I don't criticize their work. Even though my opinion of Eric's work isn't what it used to be, I don't go bash his actual work. I only bash him as a person. So, but it's I don't know, that is not a bridge I have to cross, but it's something you might need to consider when you get there.
I also, I only review books that I find to be very cringy, I suppose. And normally it's, it's because they're chock full of identity politics. And I review behavior and I review industry. So, yeah, I don't think it'll be, with Zach, I do see him where he's toned down so much on some of the stuff that he's done.
Right. Because he's in that professional category now. And it's interesting. Rhino 4563 for $2. Here is some shucks for the rhino hater. I'm not the rhino hater. I love rhinos. I believe rhinos are majestic unicorns. What is your problem?
Fans being fans and having a good time.
Fans being fans, having a good time. That's the problem.
All right. Unranked or England team want to respond to that? We'll kind of go back and forth on this, a little ping pong action. We're in Malaysia now, so we're playing ping pong.
Daniel Cooney for $5. Enjoying the chat. Appreciate your candor on the subject. Here's to creating comics, folks. Have a great weekend. Amen, brother.
Personalities involved. I do have watched
interesting thing I had confirmed. So I talked to 2 people that I cannot burn them as sources, but they were talking. One of them contacted me out of the blue and was like, "Hey, I've got a real weird story for you." I was like, "Oh, okay." And they were talking about the jawbreaker quandary that was coming up around. I was like, what do you mean? The jawbreaker quandary. Well, apparently small companies, anybody that's associated with jawbreakers, apparently those people are very, very much blacklisted. And the blacklist, they were talking about how it's pretty much an industry-wide blacklist. And I thought, that sounds crazy. So I contacted somebody over at IDW that's pretty well placed. Interestingly, some of the people over in IDW, they wanted to talk too. So, I managed to cultivate some good sources there. And they were like, yeah, these names have turned to mud. They're non-hireable. So this is Comicsgate, this thing, when people talk about it damaging their lives, like, this connects to your life. This is your life.
It's my livelihood.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Boyette.
Aloha. How we doing tonight?
We're just listening to some people argue Comicsgate.
We're doing good. I needed a mood adjustment after all the crazy from the other day, so it was good to come on here and laugh a bit. I took a good contagious laugh on that, so it was good. I needed it.
Nuclear sandwich. I am black and white. I've traveled back into the past. I'm going to stop Stan Lee from being born. There will never be a Marvel Comics.
All right, let's bow back in.
Only being exposed for having lied for a week, and then you, Ethan, you immediately just are like, okay, well, he apologized, so it's not a big deal. It's like, it kind of is a big deal if he was just lying about it for a week straight. Why not just cop to it immediately and just say it was?
Oh, they're talking about Roe.
Obviously,
I don't know. I'm not a priest, I'm not I'm not here to excommunicate him from church. You know, he's a fan of comics. I don't know what you guys would like me to do.
If the SPW did that, the same thing. Infamous herself had said that she wanted the head of John De La Rose, who at the time was friendly to you. Would you have been as forgiving? Right. That's the thing. It seems like you guys, you personally, it seems like you give them these war campaign guys a lot of leeway, and it seems like that you give them that they are very, very original.
I was arguing with John De La Rose today.
Oh yeah.
And I used essentially was going to hoist him with Vox's own words, and he knew what I was doing, and so rather than answer me, he tagged in Infamous.
Oh no, John.
Yeah.
Boy, John just keeps going further and further down the rabbit hole, doesn't he?
So this is something I want to bring up too. Maybe we haven't talked about this. There is actually some consequences for the pundits, right? Because every day I have somebody call me a white supremacist, and this is eventually something that I'll probably have to deal with because we're probably going to have to foster.
But look at you, Edwin. You're clearly a gray supremacist.
and you know they called Tug's workplace, and so sometimes there are consequences for the pundits too, and you guys need to keep that in mind though, because these are our hobbies, and I think Umbrella makes some RC Cola and Moon Pie money off of it, but this will never replace his day job. This will certainly never replace my day. I wouldn't even make comic books. Oh my God, who wants a life of poverty?
I can't even. Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do if I'd try to live on. Well, you couldn't. I just couldn't live on YouTube money. That's the way.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Group that has been targeted by people who are affiliated with the war campaign.
Well, you
And
do
he
realize
says, I wish I could tell you more, but honestly, that after the Nurkish thing, I'm fearful too. There are people out there who are afraid of the war campaign. So, yeah, so if you could, by all means, that might actually help a lot of people calm down. I've never experienced it. I've been told I'm about to. But yeah, I've never met these guys except for I think one of them was in my chat. Somebody said this guy may be. I don't know. I've never met him. So, but yeah,
I feel like if you're talking blind about. Well, hold on, Ethan's answer.
And then I get given responsibilities of a leader of some sort, of the president of some.
Well, apparently these guys see you as a leader. And if they're
Caesar.
Of them, if there are people afraid of them and think that maybe the word from you, hey guys, cut it out, could help, then by all means.
Okay, John Malin, you were about to say something. If you could go.
Yeah. One is that England thing. You realize Ethan is not actually their leader. They're just fans,
I know.
right?
I absolutely know. I just said I have no illusion that he is sending people out there.
All right. And second, he was just on the war campaign today, and he said, if anyone's harassing anyone, don't.
That was awesome. A couple hours ago.
Yeah, like I said, I've only heard about them. I've never had any
rest
thing.
assured,
people are out there afraid of them. So
rest assured that Ethan has done everything he needs to do to. I mean, what more do you want him to do other than say don't harass people?
No, that's all I would call for. I mean, he has no control over these guys.
That's it.
I've honestly never watched an episode except for I was on the war campaign once just because Jake Rayer was on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I come into this like totally ignorant. I've talked to Roe's been on my show. He's a good guy. But other than
I goof off with the war campaign guys, they I mean, I go on their show, I goof off, I have fun. It's do they get enthusiastic sometimes? Yes. If they do get out of hand or something like that, then there can be a conversation if something does come up. The problem is that people act like Ethan can control grown-ass men like that,
Yeah. Nicholas Glenn for $1.99 says, was Nurkish a wolf in sheep's clothing to Comicsgate and EVS? No, he wasn't. Nurkish was just Nurkish.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, No, I'm not going to invite anyone else on. If John wants to talk to me about anything, he is always welcome on my channel, as is most anybody really. So just DM me and we can talk about that another time. Unranked Chevron, did you want to say anything about the war campaign, or did I already ask you? Sorry, it's getting to that point in the night.
Yeah, I kind of, I basically started this. But
sure,
the only thing
it's your fault then. How dare you? No, I'm kidding.
The only other thing I would say is that there is a perception that the relationship between EVS and war campaign is a little bit more familiar than EVS, that Ethan is suggesting.
I don't think Ethan has time to pay attention to the war campaign.
That he basically uses them as shock troops, essentially. I don't really know if that's true.
Yeah, it is true. I use them as shock troops.
Shock troops, that's awesome.
I send them after people. I go, hey, go harass this person.
I'm sure that won't be taken out of context. There's a perception that that's true.
That's what I do. I have nothing to do. I don't have anything. I don't have a family. I don't have a wife, daughter, son in college. I don't have a comic book to draw, a YouTube show to run. What I do is I find these LARPers on social media and I send them after people I don't know, especially women. Maybe you've heard that Comicsgate is a movement that harasses women. You figured it all out. Yeah, that's right. We harass women. That's what we do.
I do.
I harass my wife.
I was about to say the same thing. You ask the wife. Yeah.
I talk to Ro every couple of weeks on the telephone. He's a computer programmer. He's a family man. A lot of this is very performative. It is very performative. Now,
if you can't tell just by his tweets,
for 1 second,
it's always fancy.
I think there's been like some real life spillover with one of the war campaign and a fellow named Testosterone Overload that I think things got off to the wrong foot. As soon as I can, I'm going to try and get both of those guys in a voice chant and see if we can crush it. Because I think what happens sometimes is without the context of voice and like talking to each other, with each other, instead of just at each other, I think people amp stuff up and it can get real surreal. It can get real surreal for people sometimes. And yeah, hopefully we can fix that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
We can't fix all of this stuff either. That's one thing like people need to understand. Like you can't control everybody.
Yeah, seriously. And I mean, time is money, man. Right? I mean, for all of us, whatever, you're taking time away from your day job, you're taking time away from your family. Time is valuable. And if you're sitting here having to play freaking referee to a bunch of people you literally don't know because they're on your chat or they're on your Twitter and they're starting fights between each other, and it's like, I am not your referee, I am not your father. Could you just behave like adults and handle it without turning this into World War III?
Sadly though, unfortunately, as the most known person, you end up with a lot of unfair stuff almost given your way. I'm sure Ethan gets tired.
It's because we're so involved with the fans, right? Yeah. Because I talk to as many of my fans as I can. The community, however you want to phrase it, they're on my channel listening to me blather on. It's not like Rush Limbaugh, right? I mean, Rush Limbaugh's fans don't like call him up and be like, hey, we're having this argument, can you settle it? It's just Dragon, I do talk to you, shut up.
I like do we have to call him Draken? Because Draken sounds kind of cool. Are we saying it as Dragon?
I'm gonna say it as Dragon. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, Dragon, I like you too. So I'm gonna make sure to talk to you right now. I'm looking right at you.
Who are afraid of these people who are doing these things in your name. And that,
what do you mean
that's
in my
why
name? Are they wearing T-shirts?
well, they're saying whatever they
Dread says, yeah, we get to watch you eat ramen. I actually had ramen tonight. I did not film it.
doing this in your name. So yeah, disavowing them, absolutely. If you're going to do the same thing with Nurkish because he's going to hurt the Indiegogo,
He didn't disavow Nurkish.
Call him again, the war campaign. Wouldn't the war campaign be the same thing? Because these are actually hurting the people in Comicsgate who you want to be your customer.
Okay, I want Ethan to respond to that, and then I want to modify the question and pitch it back. So Ethan, if you could go ahead.
I can't even respond to that. It's gibberish. It's
but he will.
It's not gibberish at all.
They're hurting people out there, and so you got.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
and now you've got
England team. If you could let Ethan respond, please.
You're absolutely right.
England team, if you could let Ethan respond, please. It's hard to hear when both of you talk.
Nick, you have a mute button.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what to say about that.
Did you have your ramen with a diaper or without?
Oh, don't even go there, man.
And I know some people never grew out of kindergarten, and people need full-time babysitters. I don't think they do. I trust that everyone's an adult and can handle themselves. I don't consider people to be other adults to be my responsibility, except for the people that live under my roof.
Okay,
exactly.
I want to
all of the shock.
YouTube has muted Ethan.
Shit just kind of undermines the whole argument that you're making here. You seem to think that they're shocked.
Not me.
You're the one who brought it up.
No, I did not. I did not. I did not. As a matter of fact, I said just the opposite. That was unranked.
Nicholas Glenn for $1.99 just got here. What happened to EBS's channel? EBS is on Nick Ricada's channel right now, and we're listening to it and commenting over here.
His channel? Are they talking about the strike that he got?
Oh, did he get a strike?
There's a difference in that.
Yeah, he got one this morning. Yeah, he got a strike. So,
and to my knowledge, the war
first I've heard of it
is not.
Yeah, and your favorite not famous person out there has been bragging about what kind of I take them as backhanded comments, bragging about what trouble they're causing.
Ethan and England team, you have talked about this for a little bit, so I'm going to ask John if he would like to start with the response.
The whole thing was eating tacos, dude. Sorry.
Finish your taco, Malin. Finish your taco.
What more do you guys want?
Okay, unranked, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not, like I said, because part of the problem is I just really have not followed this element of the more recent evolution of the Comicsgate. But if you asked me about, what's the difference between policing Nurkish and policing Ro Kabir, the difference is that with policing Nurkish, he was there in the live stream that he talked about. He mentioned that one of the reasons why he did it was to protect his own brand. But with Ro Kabir and his war campaign stuff and whoever else is involved with that, they are out there they're Ethan Van Sciver super fans that are basically trying to, and like I said, the perception is that they are out there to basically try to excise any elements from Comicsgate that are not favorable to Ethan Van Sciver. So that it's like the difference is that in both cases, it seems like that.
Okay, I can't speak to the war campaign, but dude, you can't compare anything to the kind of vile crap that was on that Discord.
Yeah.
That
again, Ethan described one thing there, and
yeah, I saw it. It's freaking disgusting.
And the discussion that went on about it, again, I thought it was two people that were supposed to be friendly. Ethan saying, dude, this is going to hurt you. This is going to hurt me. And,
and Nurkish saying, I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. And Ethan's like, dude, this is not, I thought you were my friend, man. Come on. I'm trying to talk to you about this. And then it kind of just, it ended, but it didn't end in a, profanity this, profanity that. It just kind of ended. It flared out. And
Nurkish bailing and then quitting Twitter. No, I did not just swear, Rhino.
You're all right.
You might feel the full wrath.
Hey, war campaign. I decry you, and please don't You're not supposed to harass people.
I'm glad you said that. Really?
Shock troops at ease.
I decry you.
I decry you.
Now, who is
So
Hofar is saying something about somebody getting doxxed.
yes,
Thundaro getting doxxed. I don't.
what I was thinking.
Who?
Let's take a
Thundaro? He's a moderator in a couple of chats.
There's a lot
I hadn't heard about Thundaro getting doxxed.
to do with some of you guys.
No, I haven't heard it either.
Because I haven't felt
Thundaro in the chat.
directly into the flow. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of conversation. I actually thought things were going pretty well, even though there was a little tension. So if anyone wants to respond, I'm going to machine gun through them. Stop me if there's something you want to address directly. Otherwise, laugh and joke and enjoy, or get really mad. Let's start at the beginning. It was
Pope, are you talking about the war campaign?
Get back to it. Here we go.
Wait, is it war council or war
Remind
campaign?
Caesar he needs to make a baseball
Campaign.
all caps logo on it. We need something to buy before Rainbow Brute. I'm here for the roasting. That was from GR People. Rax the Hero says, I'm here for the roasting of Warhawk.
Oh, he's just reading it. Yeah, so, Edwin, did you see my poll?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, let me grab it and stick it in the...
This is getting way too familiar when you're asking those kind of questions.
Okay, when Mike says he's going to grab his pole and stick it somewhere.
I got my poll. Right. I got my poll in my hand. Hold on a second. Let me drop it right here.
Yeah.
It's in the chat right now.
I go to a pretty fundamentalist church, Mike, so you're not...
Dr. Fantastic says Richard won. It's not a competition. It's just a straw poll to find out where everybody came, what door everyone came into Comicsgate through, right?
Exactly.
We
So
have
if you haven't voted, remember to vote that umbrella guy. I mean, vote.
It's not a popularity contest. It's
how 3 votes. I was shocked. I had 3 there. I was like, awesome. It's cool.
Ooh, hey, I've got 5 now.
Pope Fire, if you DM that to me on Twitter, I will take a look at that.
So, Edwin, it's how did you find Comicsgate? Since I'm not going to do an Aloha tonight, I wanted to talk about this anyways. Nick's probably still reading super chats, right?
I can think of 1,040,000 reasons why Ethan and John want to protect their names from potential damage to their channel.
All right, so yeah, and this arose out of like these arguments on Twitter today about people trying to tear.
Well, I helped make Comicsgate. Now I got back into comics through Diversity in Comics, but when Comicsgate started going, I was even talking to Richard about it. Because Richard was like, I'm not Comicsgate, I'm Richard. I'm doing this stuff and doing, when we really started using the name Comicsgate has been floating out there for years, but it really came into strong use. What do you say, Tug? About the middle of last year?
Yeah, I think we'll call it the mainstream tip off was around the milkshake controversy. I will think, because the name, it's been out there and controversy has been building, but when everything kind of just blew up, it would be around the milkshake incident.
Yeah. And so when I say I helped make Comicsgate, I'm one of the people who helped popularize the name and the idea. I'm not claiming invention of it or anything like that, but yeah. And I told Richard, I'm like, dude, as long as you're criticizing corporate comics, you are Comicsgate,
right?
Whether you like it or not, you are. And he's quoted me on that a couple of times. So, how did I find Comicsgate? Well, I helped make it. Helped.
Yeah, that's.
I built it. I built the. We have like a Hollywood sign version.
You should put Edwin. Yours is other. No, but it was because these people were trying to attack and tear down Ethan. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the freaking context of it, but I'm like, dude, Ethan has a huge, not just market share of Comicsgate. He's brought people into this community. Obviously, DNC has brought freaking half the people into Comicsgate, right? At least if this is if this sampling of 751 votes is anywhere near a sampling of the actual fan base, which I think it is. Diversity Comics is responsible for bringing in half the people. Ethan is responsible for bringing in 29%, right? So people who are trying to say, trying to tear him down and say, like somehow he owes everybody else and blah, blah, blah. All these arguments you see about Ethan every time this crap flares up. I'm like, dude, Ethan could literally take that whole chunk of pie away with him and just go, live a very extravagant life selling to just those people.
All right, so just as a devil's advocate, that answer would resonate with other creators. To some of the critic or to some of the fans, kind of irrelevant to them. But I think
here's my point. It's like, if you take everybody else besides Diversity in Comics and Ethan, right? It's approximately what, 30%? Maybe no, not quite 30. 20 odd percent, right? And you truncate the fan base to where they would have been before Ethan or
unquestionably. The simpler point to make is with Ethan's performative side, he's absolutely drawn a ton of people in who wouldn't have found Comicsgate otherwise.
Right.
This is absolutely true. I think just what a lot of people need to do is realize Comicsgate is so large now that there's going to be groups of people who aren't particularly interested in the same thing that you're interested in, right?
Correct.
And it's okay if people like different stuff than you like. It's okay. It's okay. There is enough energy. There is enough energy, enough things going on that somewhere in this big open network of people, you can find something that will appeal to you and people that you enjoy spending time with, and a voice that reflects yours. Now that section of the community might be large, it might be small, it might be whatever, but there's no particular benefit or profit from being envious of anybody else's or even worrying about what anyone else is saying, except there's some of us sometimes, like for people like me and Tug, who we have all the risk and perhaps not the same benefit. Sometimes I get irritated when people just rattle stuff off and say huge controversial stuff. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes we have to help explain that, or we bear the consequences of it.
I cover I cover internal. I hate to say, like, I am very I'm very on the point about what Comicsgate is as far as what we talk about. We talk about a product, we talk about certain type of behavior, and some people out there do not reflect that. I mean, obviously we have personalities, there's the way we define a little bit of that, we have people out there, hundreds and hundreds of hours. Obviously you're going to see all kinds of stuff from people, but we know that there is a line with creators, some of the stuff we've seen lately. I call that out. I don't care who they are. We've got to be honest, and we try to do that. We try to talk to that. I don't want to call it policing, just talking, hey man, that's kind of, what's going on. And we try to do it behind the scenes, just to not, again, police anybody or do anything, but to say, hey, calm down, take a breath. But when that stuff pours out in public, it's fair game. I hate to tell people, but it becomes fair game.
Yeah, and it shouldn't pour out in public. And yeah. I mean, it's a thing. Comicsgate is a comics and an entertainment and a hobby movement. It's not like Christianity, right? It's not like, well, I mean, there's a similarity in the sense that all you have to do to be a Christian is, believe in Christianity and vocalize that you believe Christianity. It's a similar thing with Comicsgate, right? You believe in the tenets of Comicsgate and you vocalize that you're Comicsgate. But Christianity bears with it a moral code where, you know, we in Christianity can call each other out when we see each other doing things that are besmirching the name, and we have literally a moral authority to do that, to try to, you know, make sure that people have the best vision and version of Christianity that we can you know, hope to be. Whereas Comicsgate, you don't have a moral authority, because it is just this entertainment media hobby fan creator type of thing. It's sort of amorphous, but it would be nice if we could just, like, everyone agree, hey, we don't say these sorts of things about people. We don't, you know, we try to keep a moral boundary so that, you know, people don't look at us and see the worst aspects, like the freaking, you know, things that Richard has said that still get hung on us a year later, or things that might be said in a war campaign or whatever, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just babbling, but do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I actually, I look at this stuff too. There are people out there that are, when I look at outside places that catalog this kind of stuff, and I watch exactly what they're noting. Yeah, it's it's not good when they see, you know, when there are places out there that just watch for spectacle, and they watch us and they report some of our behavior. No, you know, they should be reporting the other side only. We should, and again,
they're talking about me.
We back this up. Can you have each of these people spend 5 minutes describing their perspective of reality as it relates to the situation and what they think has brought them to this point now? I support Comicsgate, but they're Bale or Ball says, can we back this up? Can you have each of these people?
Right.
Well, getting your own company is compelled to make the live streams and everything. I do believe in the message a lot, and I promised I will be here long when everybody's got the companies and they've gone their own way, and I will still be here because I do believe in the fight. I absolutely don't want the Comicsgate brand messed up.
Well, getting your own company is not making you not Comicsgate anymore.
Oh, you're right. That was a false equivalency, and that was really just saying, you know, if you guys, like, if everybody left, there would still be at least one to fight to do that. Yeah.
As long as everyone's talking about no SJWism, then you haven't left.
All right.
Good job, sir. Good job. That is excellent. Toast to you.
Bale or Ball says, can we back this up? Can you have each of these people spend 5 minutes describing their perspective of reality as it relates to the situation and what they think has brought them to this point now? I support Comicsgate, but there's confusion.
They had a whole bunch of crap in the chat about me, but I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, and this was an hour ago, so there's been a lot of time for things to kind of progress. Timbertone says, I'm reminded of Antifa harassing Tucker Carlson's home because he's a right-wing critic. Now, that's some scary stuff. I'm on Malin's side on this. GR People says, Comicsgate is anyone who wants to be in the movement. This does not mean that you have full access to Caesar's or Coach's platform just because you believe you can say anything you want to offend with no blowback. Rhino4563, Mike S. Miller needs to stop with the name calling. Calling a rhinoceros a unicorn is ugly. Hoosier Highway.
There. Sorry.
No worries. Hoosier Highway says, "Shut up, commies! If your work is good,
that was it."
People want to buy comics. Idiot, lol. This isn't hard. Mr. Capitalist says, "Cyberfrog looks like '90s trash."
All right, let's jump back ahead.
All right. I got to jump out of here for a bit. If you all are on in a little while, I'll catch you again. Okay.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Later, folks. I see you, Redwood.
Absolutely.
Bye there.
Sides of CG, which isn't dead. Mr. Capitalist says, Ethan, Milo is more of a man. And then you are, and he is gay. Lol.
Yeah, Comicsgate definitely not dead. Everybody's audiences are still growing. This community is still growing. It's a really good time, which you know, just more and more baffles me about all this stuff going on.
Well, I had an argument that I didn't get to make earlier.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And the fact that Unranked Chevron makes this video, we're having this debate, and there's all these different people talking about stuff, shows that Comicsgate is far from dead. There's just different perspectives on it. People are on the Ferris wheel at different positions. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think maybe he just, I don't know, I didn't watch the video, but he may have well just done it to get the hits, to get the attention of Ethan, to get something like this going, you know? You know, kick the hornet's nest if you want to get some attention.
Yeah. I think the jealousy arguments are less effective. I think one thing even if I don't agree with Ingleton, and you know, I used to scrap bitterly with Ingleton's real life brother. He's super liberal, and he would say all this stuff, and I would. That guy has like the superpower of being able to take me from 0 to furious in like 15 seconds. And so what I realized is like what I realized, what was his name? Chef Jack. Last year I realized, hey, all I have to do is just not engage with this person, right? And let him have some space, you know, and not go seek out what he's saying, and everything will be fine. And the world will keep going. Yeah, and it's not like he was even just. It was just something about his tone and how everything sounded, and so yeah. I just came to the realization I've got to give this guy some space. So rather than getting all, you know, upset to no good purpose, you know, just gave him some space. And you know what? The sun came up the next day, and life went on.
And amazingly, when you sleep on stuff like that, it like you wake up the next morning and you're like, wow, that didn't matter at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to decide if arguing with John De La Rose was good today. It's just I had my backup. Usually arguing is not, but at the same time, I had enough of people who weren't going after him being targeted because they happen to be talking about Vox, and I felt like it was time to push back on that, to make that have some cost.
Yeah, I don't know. I think John is just, like I said before, just going further into the rabbit hole, man. He's just like, he's losing the narrative.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Warhammer 40K fan, I think it's the same as saying I am Alfarius, right? Like there's a lot of people say I'm, you know, a bunch of people say I am the leader of Comicsgate. It's from an old Roman meme or something like that.
I am Spartacus.
You know, I am Caesar or something.
Spartacus.
Like that.
Seriously, dude.
Can I actually answer something that is going on in the comments here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody said I finally owned up to my own stupidity. Actually, in my live stream that we were talking about that started all of this
Optimus Deadpool says John De La Rose is lost.
You guys actually go. I say, you know, part of this could just be that I'm being the old man that does not want to let go of what was before, what I have known. Part of that could be that. See, when I'm doing my videos, I understand there's a whole bunch of people here who've never watched one video of mine. I understand that. I'm layered, bitches. Seriously. I look at things and go, well, okay, it's this, but you also have to understand it could be that. I always do that. And I always point to myself and say, no, I could be wrong on this. And I talk about why I could be wrong.
And is this the I love comics guy or whatever?
What made me different from the other three?
Yeah, Ingleton.
That started this movement. Anyway, I'm sorry to disrupt.
Yeah, I'm not going to sub to him.
No, I want disruption. I don't want to just hear me. So like I said, feel free to pause and interject. And also, when this is over or before this is over, if you guys are up to it, Twitter me any channels or whatever that you want to promote, so I can
Twitter
put them
me
in the description
Boomer.
for people to find. I should have mentioned that earlier, but I'll put them right up top. I.E. Strad says people need to realize that anything anyone does from small Comicsgate to big names is that the big names are going to be the ones who bear the brunt. Saying big names, you screwed up, so it's okay for the rest of us to do your own thing and screw up is just stupid. Rhino4563 says, no, they don't. Look at what they're doing to Superman. Mr. Capitalist says, Ethan, comic books sold best when they were propaganda for World War II. Jance says, can the Comicsgate name be put on, whoops, here we go. Be put on some sort of trust with a board to protect it from Vox, SJWs, or whatever. I mean, it can, but I don't know that anybody
All right, he's just
wants it to
reading
be,
super chats.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember that day.
Which day?
The day when Vox announced his Comicsgate imprint.
Yeah, that was, boy.
Well, I always encourage people. Encourage people when they're in a state of emotional excitation to take a breath, and pause and ponder. But yeah, I don't fault anything for anybody that may have misstated something on that day, because just people were so angry and so frustrated. Because I know a lot of the fans were like, wait a minute, who are you? Vox who? You're Comicsgate, what?
Yeah.
And people were just so frustrated. And a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of the Twitter personalities and so forth felt it was something that needed to be responded to with force and with haste.
It was an attack.
Yeah.
It was. He was trying to
But I don't
lay claim to something that he had no, not even a hand in. He had no relation to. You know? Well, I mean, yeah. he was publishing some of John's books, and John says he's Comicsgate. So, but other than that, it's like,
no. He's never talked to any of the fans, and so spent with them. There was a little overlap. And I myself used to think that Vox had some utility. Okay. And here's where I had my blind spot, because last year I spent a lot of time researching the alt-right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking through some of his blog, and his blog goes on for years, right? And one of the things I came across where he's making fun of Richard Spencer, right? Because I guess they have competing kind of ideas within the alt-right. And so I didn't dig that deep. Once I came to the part where he was kind of mocking Richard Spencer, and I saw Richard Spencer and them mocking him, I didn't pursue down those lines as deep as I should have, and I gave Vox too much of a pass. Gave him way too much of a pass.
Yeah, I just went straight to his critics, and then they actually provided links to his blog, and then I read the stuff they were criticizing in his own words, and I'm like, nope. Not touching this guy.
Well, you know what set John off today is I asked him if he was an American.
Why would that
broke his brain? Well, if he says he's an American, then he's directly contradicting what Vox Day is espousing.
Oh, the ethno-nationalism?
No. Vox Day wrote a very eloquent piece, which essentially says, if you don't understand that Americans are the descendants descendants of the English people who were present in colonial America, and were descended from the same people, had the same language, same customs, and same religion, then you're a liar, a leftist, and a cuck, and all kinds of yeah. Let's see. Dr. Dread, Man of Mystery, has forgiveness for me for my initial misreading on Vox Day. He says that's okay. Even John Wayne made mistakes, like when he tried to play Genghis Khan in a movie. What was the Sean Connery played that crazy role too? What was that one crazy role he played in The Mankini?
Oh, that. I don't know the name of it. I never
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Oh, I gotta look this up now.
Right now, if anybody wants to come on and talk about how, oh, you're so fucking stupid and you don't know what you're talking about.
Stardust.
You want to come on? You guys can come on and voice the other side of the opinion. You know, there's no need for just us four to be up here talking about basically what involves everybody. So yeah, if you guys want to come on and yell at me and tell me why I'm full of shit, come on. I've actually literally put my hangout on Bill Sankovich's thing. Come on, Bill, or anybody who thinks like you, let's go have a debate. I can go with you guys too. Come on.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I'm not dropping my link into the chat again.
Inviting you on it. Yeah.
You'll have a subscriber from me at the end of the show. Yeah. Yeah, I'll fix that one. No worries. Mr. Capitalist says Angry Jack broke Ethan. Carl Manders says customer and creator don't exist without each other. Rumble Terrier says give the community its sovereignty. GR People says so these two are upset people no longer talk about them and instead talk about Caesar. Spider-Man not Bug Boy says creators make books people want, creators make money, both need each other. Johnny in CLE said holy hell, EVS's Comicsgate is about both. Who the hell is this autist Ingleton anyway? If you can't figure out that what
What did it say?
It says
he said Zordos.
Zardoz.
Zordos.
It's bad enough he was in Highlander too.
Is he trying to say autistic?
Well, autist is a internet slur for autism. Someone diagnosed with autism. So you are an autism.
Oh. So he's saying I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah, somewhere. Apparently far down one side of it is if I'm getting his point.
I guess. Well, I maybe. I don't know what autism is. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, he said autist. Sorry. That might have been my slurring. If you can't figure out that it's a two-way street, smack my head. Crash 42 says, dang it, Ethan, I was drunk and you're talking about hot dogs, made me order food. I will say that was rude of you because I'm starving.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, how dare you bring up food? The blast.
Are they just reading super chats now, or?
It sounds like, yeah.
I think once they get.
You must have a lot to go through. I don't have any to go through because I guess I'm just not as entertaining as.
Just so everyone knows, when they get to eBay, the price goes up. So.
Well, I gave you a super chat.
I appreciate. Oh no, you're showing it on your channel. Are you sharing it still? Oh, I just saw it pop up on the screen. No! It's the worst outfit ever.
Especially since all the publishers are scared because of the man baby puppy Mark Waid situation. Comics Invictus says, "Hey, Angle and Unranked."
Yeah, it's all just super chats, and that's great. It's great that Nick's making some money. It's fantastic.
He needs it to pay for all that alcohol he downs during these streams.
Yeah, one thing.
So Ethan addressed this. Ethan addressed this, and he's absolutely right. And he's absolutely right about the entire word gatekeeping. Nobody can stop somebody from coming on the skate.
David Tay, thank you for your $20. Fine, here's your money. LOL. Your short ribs are coming up, David.
You got to learn how to dance or something. You're going to have to shake the moneymaker, Miller. You're taking these.
Yeah, it hurts feelings. But what happened today? You guys are going to work together, right? On today, Ethan. Didn't you guys?
I can tango, but I need my wife in here. People would probably throw money down for that. What?
Yeah, gatekeeping should be off the fucking table. Nobody's
right, dude.
You gotta work for them dollars, though, Miller. You gotta work for
the money.
Yes, the author
England team. Yes.
Hashtag the Blastfield Unity.
You know, and that's a truism.
Okay, so you mean that's
you know, channels don't always grow. I mean, PewDiePie was saying that himself. It's like, look, your channels are going to go through times where you lose viewers, right? It's not always a constant growth. I mean, you probably check your what do they call it, numbers and whatnot, and you see you get a lot of drop off. I mean, you might be growing at the same time or growing more, but you're still losing. You know, I'll lose 100, 200 subs a month, but thankfully I'm gaining more than I'm losing. It's ebb and flow. Dr. Fantastic says, yeah, but there's going to be times where you're like, your market is down, and if you're not doing something to reach new people, then yeah, I mean, I can understand people.
Well, I spend a lot of my time with other people on other people's projects, so I don't really spend a lot of time trying to grow my channel. So,
and yet it grows anyways, doesn't it, Edwin?
It creeps upward. Yeah, it creeps upward a little bit of time. Here recently, I've been live streaming more from my channel just because that umbrella guy has been demonetized.
Yeah.
And so all the super chats that come in on my channel, I've been giving to that umbrella guy.
Oh, I
just well, yeah, just because he's had a whole lot of stuff going on. I mean, he's had 2 surgeries. I think his wife was in the hospital. His computer blew up.
Yeah.
People, whoever. All right. So this was another thing I was angry about. People cost him real life money. Those people who called his work, that lost him bonuses he would have gotten otherwise.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. This has cost him thousands of dollars. This has cost him thousands of dollars. And so I think I communicated to you once. I was a little bit more frustrated that people didn't snap to, and this is what I was speaking to earlier, is that there are consequences for pundits and just nerds like me, right? Nerds like me. Like I've had a couple of people who wanted to try and fight me here and stuff. I'm not particularly concerned about it, but I'm a public persona. I'm a public persona, right? This is who you see right now is who you see out in the street, and you know, my private behavior pretty much matches my public behavior. I think my wife would vouch for that my personality pretty much stays the same.
And you got attacked too, didn't you? Like a couple months ago?
Oh, well, every day. So
Fire up super chats. Fire up.
Every day I'm waking up to somebody calling me a white supremacist because I'm affiliated with Comicsgate.
Right.
Gail Simone was retweeting defamatory stuff about me, which is a bizarre place to be.
And doesn't it seem like it's calmed down though? I mean, the whole I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot more hate coming at us about a month and a half ago. It seems like it's kind of chilled. Which it's just the egg and flow thing.
Yeah, well, you may just be tuning more of it out too. Haven't you been off Twitter a little bit more?
No, but then again, I have muted a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's probably not a bad idea, but it's still happening.
You know, usually it's stuff like coming up, and then other people will share it. Other people that I have not muted would share it. So I haven't heard a lot from, you know, Tom Taylor or Bill Sienkiewicz or you know, the other left-wing talking heads trying to call us all Nazis and crap. It seems like it's been a while.
Well, Yeah, and maybe we just haven't been hitting at some of these people. It wasn't been that long ago. Um, but yeah, so I can understand. I can understand how, like, some of the people say that they're worried about threats from somebody or something like that. Yeah, I can understand that, and that's why I spend some of my time when people within our community, within the same group, are having personality conflicts, and if it feels like it's kind of escalating and spiraling, then I want to try and help people, and I encourage their friends to help each other too, right? I talked about this earlier. Sometimes when one of your friends, you see your friend getting attacked, your first response is to jump out there and start swinging back first, right? Sometimes the better answer is to reach out to the person who's doing the attacking in public or private and say, "Hey, let's see if we can push reset on this. Let's dial this one down a little bit." So somebody is saying something about Thundero in the war campaign. I'm going to try and reach out to Thundero. I still want to patch the rift and the misunderstandings between Pope Fire and Sketch. I don't think we can turn them into friends, but I think both of them have been caught up in a spiral of trying to defend themselves.
Yeah, I would just love it if they would just ignore each other. And I know Pope has been trying to do that, and I know I've seen Sketch bring stuff up. I'm like, dude, freaking, dude, I blocked him on Twitter. I'm just like, I didn't. I mean, how long did we spend trying to reason with him? And I was just like, no, I'm done. I was just like, I have my limits. I have my own children that I have to deal with that fight. So yeah, and I don't want to block him on YouTube.
If anybody had evidence of that,
But
that would be
you know,
incredible,
if he ever brings any of that stuff up, I just freaking,
I don't believe it.
even if he super chats it, I don't read it. So Jay Simmerly for $2. Hi, Mike and Edwin. Hello, Jay Simmerly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But a lot of the conflict is very rarely helpful. Like I told you, I was contesting with Della Rose today, and as I'm pondering on it tonight, I'm thinking, well, okay, I was angry because he was trolling people, but did I really help any of those people? Did I help those people? Right?
Yeah, John likes to throw matches to see what he can catch on fire, and I can understand that. I'm kind of like that too. I've tried not to be on Twitter so much, even though that's the best place to do it. But yeah, there's a few guys. It's not just John, but there's a few guys who do. Man, they keep going at it, and then they'll have their repentant moments, and then it seems like they'll go away for a little bit, and then the next time you hear from them, they're throwing freaking matches again. It's like, dude, and I'll tell you who I'm talking about off the air. I don't want to point anybody out besides, except that we're already talking about John. But man, I can't. I'm not. I have enough kids. I say it all the time. I have enough kids. I don't need to be anyone else's father.
Well, if we can contribute though to order and to people's enjoyment, and we can do that with a reasonable amount of energy, that's worth doing. But there is a point sometimes where I feel like my wife is a Comicsgate widow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You got it. Optimus Deadpool, to be frank, if what Sketch said is true, he's got a head injury while deployed, so I think that contributes to his shifts. Not making excuses, just how I see it from conversing with him. And I agree with that. And that is also why I
You're responsible for your perceptions, fears, feelings about war campaign, elevators and flying England team. You're grown ramen. Facts don't care about your perceptions, fears, and feelings. Hail Ben.
It's so funny we're talking about him right now. That's why I he's a vet. He's an injured vet, and that's why I give him more rope than I would give a normie, you know?
Well, one thing I'll say too is Sketch's heart does not always come across in chat, and it comes across a lot better in voice. It was, you know, I know sometimes people feel he is divisive. I have some affection for the guy, and I don't have his particular challenges. In Comicsgate, he talks about so much about how important Comicsgate is to him,
Yeah.
about how much it means to him.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, dude, I don't want to be. I mean, he's told me before. It's like he's lost his communities twice before, and like this is his community, and one of those communities was his brothers in arms, and he doesn't want to lose this community. But and when we were trying to talk to him, it's like he just doesn't. He's unwilling to give. I don't know how to say it. And
I think this is where it always gets stuck. It's just the it's the level of intensity that he defends himself with. But and I really sometimes I told the young lady that he has some issues with. I wish I could put them together in a chat room, a voice chat room, and moderate it, and actually just agree to leave each other alone, because both of them deserve to have a good experience, and I think it's possible. I think it's entirely both possible for both of them and their friends to have a good experience.
Yeah. Dragon says he can defend himself all he wants. He attacks people. That's the problem. Liam says, I've spent a lot of time with him, and I think he has a big heart and a lot of passion, and anger are something he can bring under control with us there to stand shoulder to shoulder. I don't feel right turning my back on him either, and that's why I haven't. But at the same time, he has been the aggressor, so I have to defend Hope Fire. Yeah. Because she has not. She, we said, hey guys, just ignore each other, as if we were the parents in the situation, and she did. But he did not, and he'd keep bringing it up, and it's like, dude, just let it go, let something go.
With this now, this is one thing. When you have large audiences, you can have two sets of people that you have affection for both sets of people, and then you find that they are at odds with each other, and so you want to help them come to a peaceful resolution, right?
Yeah.
You want them to come to a peaceful resolution, and that's if me and the audience interact, for the most part, if I'm able, I want to leave you at least as well as you found me, and hopefully a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is part of it. This is part of it. It just. But I feel a response because people are willing to give me their time. I do feel some responsibility. Then if it's within my capacity to try and point people to more orderly resolutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is it? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't drown them in a puddle, or how does that go? It was something like that. You can lead a horse to water, but it still won't be a unicorn. Doug probably knows how it goes.
You can lead a rhino to water, and it will see a unicorn in its reflection. Zeno the Stoic says, "Tell them if they don't behave, you will stop this car. Come back there and give them something to complain about." Yeah.
Oh, well, no, my father would just reach back and smack everybody. If he smacked around long enough, I mean, he was gonna hit the person who did something. You know? And come on, everybody's been a kid. You know, for every smack you conned as a kid, you know there was two things you did that deserved a smack that you didn't get called for. So it probably equaled out. It was. Oh yeah, Rhaegar knows it. He says you can least a horse to water, but you can't make him do the backstroke. There you go.
Tomb says, "Yeah, Mike, your story today about your father resonated with me. He died recently, and parts of the story were very familiar." Thank you, Tomb. I don't know if you saw. You've heard the story about my dad, right?
I know you told me he worked for IBM. Beyond that, I
well,
don't
no, I mean his strokes and divorce and the death. I did the 20-minute version of it today on Bible or cross.
So after did his health go downhill after he divorced your mom, or was it before the divorce?
It was after he got divorced from his second wife. Yeah.
Oh well.
Rhino 4563 for $2. You mock me, sir.
Yeah, and the only reason I shared the stuff about Sketch and other people publicly is because we would like for them to both have more peace allies, right? Because there's always people willing to defend, right? But what I would love to see is people help encouraging the peace, because not everything needs to be a fight for somebody else's entertainment. And sometimes I feel like people encourage some of this stuff for their own entertainment. Let's see. Jay Simmerly says, "Edwin, I hope my tweet comparing you to Karloff wasn't making fun of you." Why not? Why not? I'm not that thin-skinned, buddy. It's okay. It's okay to make fun of me. I am a boomer, but I'm not a thin-skinned boomer.
All right, let's see what this.
Start inviting creators. And guys, I know it might seem weird, but if I can tell you anything over the past year of really expanding into YouTube, start inviting people and they'll start saying yes. Just do it. Just start inviting people and start saying yes. I don't know if any of the panel want to add to that or disagree. You're welcome to do so.
Well, I had invited everybody who called me names in the thing to come and talk, and all of them told me basically to fuck off. So I don't know about them saying yes there, Bob.
So this stream will not be monetized?
Seriously, everybody is invited. And I like that idea, what you just said, of a 24-hour thing. It would be a little bit of a logistic nightmare. But you could figure it out as far as who gets paid what.
I wonder how many hours a day of Comicsgate broadcasting there is.
There's a lot now. There's a lot now, and I think there's a lot of competition for audience right now because there are so many options.
It is a good thing the audience keeps growing.
You're talking about bouncing. So this guy's awake at this time, so he could do this live stream and then that live stream.
And this is done organically all the time. If you want examples, you can look back to the internet blood sports community. I mean, when there's been a lot of leaks.
24-hour CG coverage, says Ebola Jones.
Everybody in the chat starts talking about what side is right. I don't care right now. There have been a lot of leaks, and the interesting thing to me from those leaks is that they literally had networks and they were fighting over time slots in a lot of this drama. Like, people built up a thing. They ran a show at the same, like I run a live stream right now every day at 11 p.m. or 11 p.m. Central Time, just about every weekday. There are certainly rooms that people
I'm running one right now too.
And you're consistent and you're constantly inviting guests, people are going to show up and then people are going to watch. It's going to take a little time, but start building.
You are all my guests
the same way
right
was built
now.
Make the time for creators to come on your streams.
Good night,
if
Abe.
Guys don't come on right away. Start inviting the little guys. There are tons of people who want to be and are parts of Comicsgate and want exposure, and they just
What channel am I watching? Ebola Legends. We're watching Nick Riqueda's channel. Actually, we're not. We're just listening to it and reading the chat.
That's probably a good time for me to plug my channel. I do a shit called Comicsgate Presents, which focuses on a lot of the little Indiegogos that are out there and trying to bring attention to people who may not be able to get onto larger platforms. So if you are Comicsgate, because it is exclusive for people.
No, you only have around 180 guests. Yeah, I know.
You're welcome to contact me on Twitter, which is @JohnMalin, and let's get in contact. And
invite me to the channel.
But be patient.
Deadpool.
There you go. And guys,
Roll up, punk.
I don't personally want to be involved in that. I love Comicsgate. I love reporting on it, but my show is a law show primarily, so I'm not the right person.
Well, we're gonna need a lawyer.
Well, and I'm happy to do that. And I really do love reporting on Comicsgate stuff.
All right.
Doing stuff like
it has been a long day for me. It is probably time for me to say goodnight, brother.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for dropping in. I think this is about to wrap up pretty soon anyways, so I appreciate you coming in, brother.
All right. You going to be on tomorrow?
No, we're going to Big Bear tomorrow.
Going to Big Bear. All right. We'll have a good day, and then I guess we'll catch up with you probably Monday.
Monday.
All right. Everybody, be good, and be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Aloha.
Aloha.
Trademark?
All right.
No, not necessarily. But the question is, why do you have to use the Comicsgate word in your show name? You don't.
I
because
drink your milkshake.
Artists on. As for naming your show Comicsgate, maybe there's a conversation to be had there. That's not up for me to decide. I don't own the trademark.
How big is the bear? Ha 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 ha. My little one calls it Bigger Bear.
But,
I want to go to Bigger Bear.
You don't have to use Comicsgate in your title to make a show that is part of Comicsgate. So if you want to avoid that, just start making the show. Build the show.
Build your show. Build your audience outside of Comicsgate and bring people into Comicsgate.
Chats, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Mike Jenkins says, my life goal is to make EBS a reggae fan. Mr. Roboto says,
hey, Sketch, don't be insulting people. Jeez, you jump right in here and start insulting people.
GR People says there's another Comicsgate chat you can watch. It's called War Campaign. The 1776er says, appreciate EBS. Nobody in comics does what he does for creators. Marsupial Gamer says, done. Comicsgate Live after show, 9 a.m. Eastern every day, or after CG Live is over on my channel with writer John Wallace. Started it 2 days ago. Good work, buddy. Check out Marsupial Gamer's channel. Absolutely. Watermelon Platypus says 24 hours. Ingle Team, don't give me problems, give me solutions. And then finally,
that's right. We're trying to be the solution.
Mike Jenkins says, listen to Lee Perry Super 8. I don't know if that's Super Ape or Super Rape. Not sure which one that is. All right, guys. Thank you all for being on.
Is that it?
Thank you for ending it with some laughter and I think some camaraderie.
War Campaign brought Blacklist Universe to Jesus.
If you guys want to say any last words, please do.
Yeah, I would love to.
Let's listen to their last words before we bow out for the evening, shall we?
She's
ladies
had
and
a really
gentlemen.
bad bout of multiple sclerosis and going through a lot of personal problems I can't bring up. Multiple sclerosis thing has been public for some time, and she just started to GoFundMe. And she's not asking for 6 figures, just 4.
Oh, shoot. You know what?
And if you could, I'm going to pin her her GoFundMe to my Twitter. So it's at Englandine. Even if you think I fucking suck, blah, 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 yada, yada, she doesn't. When Batman 50 came out and everybody was fucking pissed, she stood the fuck up.
Wow, language.
Got knocked the hell down, backing everybody up. Everybody who was pissed, she took it upon herself to go in and say, look, you guys, and she got nailed for it. So even if you fucking hate me,
and you know, he's bringing this up. There's a friend of mine from high school who's had a really difficult time. She had health issues Like,
All right. Anybody else want to?
Oh gosh, this is not the right one. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Gummit.
say Comicsgate is better and stronger for having people like Ethan Van Sciver in it. And
That's right, John
I
Malin.
think in order for us all to move forward and all be successful, let's stop attacking him. He has
Right.
attacks coming from all different directions. It's a lot of responsibility for as much success as he's had. He still has to pay a huge, huge price for that. So let's be sure to show Ethan a little bit more respect for what he does for this community. And I think we'll all be better off for it.
Mike S. Miller.
All right, unranked or Ethan, did you want to say anything?
I just want to thank John for those kind words. John, you are a gentleman. You are a super talent. I don't feel that you get the credit that you deserve for everything that you're doing for Comicsgate. Your new project, Graveyard Shift, is one of the most exciting and interesting superhero comics that I've ever seen. And I'm very excited.
He means besides Lone Star, Heart of the Hero, available now
and
on
also
Indiegogo.
A sequel in which you bring back John Wilkes Booth as the villain, raised by Mark Zaid. Which I think
Yes.
that is obviously that is something that you should do. It's something the community.
Guys, before you back out, if you
I'd
got a
like to
heart,
say to the fans,
I'm gonna post a
in the
link
chat,
to my friend
customers,
Jenny's
thank you so much
GoFundMe.
for coming and enduring this.
Like I said,
I
she's
know I
had health
got
issues all her
heated.
life, but she had a botched surgery
It's a lot
that is costing her
nonsense,
everything. And if
goes
you go
on.
look at
A lot of people saying
the GoFundMe,
strange
I'm posting it
things
right
that
now. I'm gonna post it a couple times.
and cause hostility.
If you can help her at all, $5, $10, whatever, please do. I would appreciate it.
Should be a positive, energetic.
And for $5, the Dallas Deadeye. Sorry, but I have never heard of those guys. Is that bad?
The cause that
No.
we promote, which is just good comics, making our own good comics. I hope that the critics in this community will realign their sights where they belong and really start refocusing on making mainstream comics answer for the far leftism that exists within. I mean, obviously, it permeates the mainstream comic book industry, and also the weirdo far leftist gatekeepers on Twitter. All of those are your, you guys should be handling them. So if anything, I want you guys to be my war campaign. Get out there and start fighting these guys, man. Comicsgate needs you. Comicsgate needs you to do, to do that job and to just come up with, good theories and ideas. As for me, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, John.
Thanks, James.
I really don't know.
Appreciate that.
I don't know what's in it for me anymore. To continue to have people on my show, I think that whole thing just might kind of slowly come to an end. And just leave it where it's at. Everybody has responsibility to generate their own platform.
Except me. He'll definitely have me on his show.
To make your own market if you want to succeed. And I think that's something that people should take responsibility for. So I guess my overall message here, the chat is take responsibility for yourself. And that's it. And thank you, Nick, for having me.
Thanks, Optimus Deadpool.
Anytime.
I appreciate that.
And unranked, did you want to have any closing words?
Yeah, just that months and months ago, I was on early morning stream with Ethan Red Skyver and Mike Miller. And this was when I recognized that Comicsgate was going to become the Ethan Red Skyver and Friends Club. And I told Ethan Red Skyver that, while on the one hand, the only real responsibility you have is to make money for your family, because that's your right. Right? If you have a family and you have your brand, your only real responsibility to anybody else is to make money for that.
Zeno.
I get that. I totally do. But I get that I'm just a commentator that has no real financial stake in how this turns out. Totally get that. And what I told him is that, and I'm not sure, I'm sure he remembers this, is that it would be better to incorporate more guys that are not as high profile as, Ethan Red Skyver, John Malin, Mike Miller, Mitch Breitweiser, people that have an established pro resume. And I stand by that.
I said, that's Mike S. Miller in the chat.
100% the best thing that has come out of comics. It's not the promotion of Ethan Van Skyver's Cyberfrog and the promotion of graveyard shift. It's a promotion of guys that otherwise most people never would have heard of.
Oh, thank you,
But
Toom. I
because
appreciate
of
that. Edwin
Comic Geek,
Acevedo, I want to say I'm incredibly grateful to have EVS and John Malin on our side. Both guys are great artists, but even better human
people
beings.
like it, Antonio Price.
He said Mike Miller.
Like Sovereign, like Andrew Huerta, like
Oh,
many
Optimus
people.
here.
And
She's
NASA,
dealing with the same thing as your mom
that,
and your dad's bad surgery. Oh, man.
Otherwise, I don't think would have had an audience unless they had kowtowed to the SJWs in mainstream comics. So I absolutely think that is the best thing that has come out of what has become Comics Game. But
There's a but.
that doesn't.
What do
mean
they
that
say? Everything you say
the
before you say but
commentary
doesn't count?
Within Comics Game doesn't have a place, and that is calling balls and strikes.
Thanks, Falling into Destiny. I
And,
appreciate that.
There are people who were here well before any of this started that were not interested in making a name or brand for themselves, and that they still that they're still going to call out what they see as being good or bad. So yeah, that in terms of how this has evolved over the time, yeah, it's
What is he doing?
Evolved.
Oh,
it's definitely grown
what
from
are you doing?
one thing to another.
I keep
But
asking what you're doing with your tongue.
there's the money making side, and there's
He's got a string on his
and
T-shirt that
things
he's
are gonna-
lifting
are
his
gonna
shirt
necessarily
up with his string.
I guess that's all. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, no more
Alrighty,
super
there's
chats
the
for me
closing
tonight.
thoughts from
Please
everybody.
do donate
Thank you
to
for coming on.
Jenny
There are a couple
Miles
more
on
chats that I
GoFundMe
always
if
wanna make
you
sure I read all of them.
if you have a heart to. I would
Eloquent, there's
appreciate
only
that.
like 6
She's
minutes,
a
and
great
then
girl.
we'll
She's had a
Please
hard
don't
life,
send any more.
and
I
then
hate
boy,
sending
yeah, the
that
surgery
very
just
much, but,
really
let's
put a
let these
really
guys
bad
have the
point
stream.
on it.
Eloquent Sarcasm says, Nick, you've changed my mind about lawyers. Love your scathing wit and epic rants. Thank you. Jeff Myers says, God bless you.
Critics
Jeff
criticize
Myers
and
says,
creators
"Guys,
create. Why
piracy
can't
so
they do
addictive
them
because once you reach that
simultaneously?
first-hand
Ingleteen is retarded.
Adabisi says the potato looks like Doug from Doug on the old Nickelodeon. Watermelon Platypus says, in order, God bless EVS, God bless Malin, God bless Comicsgate, God bless Mike Miller too. Doom Guy says unranked Chevron is a soy boy, and Antonio Malpica says I was nobody and Ethan gave me a voice. Thank you, EVS.
Yeah, boy.
So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have taken some insight from this, from the mouths of some of the critics and the creators themselves. Oh, that came in from GRP polls as I'm sending more. Thank you to my guests. I'm going to black out the chat, hashtag not racist, and mute us, and then I'm going to say goodbye
Mike,
to
work on your
everybody, and
channel.
I'll say goodbye to you guys just after. So if you can stick around for just a second after we go dark here. Thank you all for watching, and check out my channel, and come back and check out the links that I'm going to add to
and please
else
check out
in
my
here,
channel
and,
while you're
check
here.
out their stuff as well and support your creators. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Peace.
And we're done with that. Should I stick around for another 15 minutes, or should I
just boosted up like 100 viewers.
I just boosted up 100 viewers since they closed out.
Like another 10 viewers.
Send an invite to John Malin and Ethan.
Another 10 viewers in that, like, 1 second.
Now everyone's jumping in here as soon as it's done over at Regatta Live.
190.
Oh my gosh, it's screaming. All right, the EBS after show. Stick around. Aloha. Give us your thoughts. I kind of gave the thoughts while we were going through it, right? Recap what happened. People are, one of them, I guess Unranked Chevron made a video saying that Comicsgate was dead, and then was complaining about Ethan turning Comicsgate into the Ethan and Friends show. But you know what? That's why I posted that poll up, because honestly, it's not that it's the Ethan and Friends show, but boy, it's. I mean, if you look at the poll, go to the poll. I just posted it. Go to it, click it, look at it. It's first of all, it's the Diversity in Comics and Friends show, because out of the 783 votes on this poll so far, the poll is, how did you find Comicsgate? And of the almost 800 votes so far, 49.43% of them is diversity in comics. And then 28 points, almost 29% is Ethan. So 70, what's that? That's 80%, almost 80%.
John Millington.
So, how you doing, John? That was fun. Thank you for defending me so vigorously.
Yeah, no problem. I thought it was an easy answer.
They didn't seem to understand it, though.
No, they didn't.
So you had to repeat it louder.
Sorry, Evil E had to hear anything that was offensive.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So
what were you doing? Were you streaming from over here?
Yeah.
I saw you keep writing in there. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, we did the whole show, man.
Nice.
Tug was in here. Edwin was in here. Edwin just left like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I was talking about. You saw the poll I posted today, right?
No. What was it?
Oh, it's the "How did you find Comicsgate" poll. Here, I'll post it again in the link, and you can check it out.
Oh, it wasn't the who won, John or Mike poll?
No, that's in the past. We don't talk about that anymore. So yeah, let me refresh it real quick. There's almost 800 votes, right? 49.37% of the people in Comicsgate, if this poll is accurate. So exactly almost half the people came in through diversity in comics. 30%, 29% came in through Ethan, right? So you've got 80% of the people in Comicsgate came in either through one or the other. And so, and please, by no meaning do I mean this to belittle the efforts or the value of what Tug and Edwin and that umbrella guy and everybody else brought to this.
Why does Tug get credited twice?
Oh, well, because it's that umbrella guy and the umbrella guy. So no, so all these guys. But if you do the math and you go back like to before Ethan was here or before Richard was here, like Richard was kind of late to the game too. I mean, those guys all told the movement that prior to those two coming in would have been considered Comicsgate, with or without the name, was probably 10,000 fans. And today, it's probably around 100,000 fans, and 80% of those people came in through either Ethan or Richard. So when these guys who, I mean, they have been growing their channels, right? They're probably up 100% over last year.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is they had their little pie, right? And then I know it always comes back to pie. And then Richard comes in and makes the pie even bigger. And then Ethan comes in and makes the pie even bigger. And now they're not happy with their slice of the pie anymore because the other slices are so big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the way it's going to be, though. I mean, in anything, music, movies, whatever, someone's going to come in and be a rock star.
Yeah, that's right.
And like them or not, love them, hate them, Richard and Ethan are both rock stars in this community. They're charismatic people that are able to pull other people to them with their views and their likability. That's all part of what everybody is attempting to do is be, charismatic and build your audiences out through that. And they did it better than anybody else.
Yep.
And that's not to say that, other people aren't doing a fantastic job at what they do. But, we all in some level, I'm not Jim Lee, I lack that X factor to be Jim Lee. But that's just the way it is. Jim Lee is a freaking rock star. Yeah. And I understand that I'll never be Jim Lee. And, I don't know, maybe if I really, really tried really hard, or crack the code or something, but.
Well, you are a little Asian.
Yeah, I am a little Asian. That's true.
And Jim's a little Asian.
Yeah. So, but look, I mean, you know, there's some real magic in being Jim Lee, and there's real magic in being Ethan or Richard, you know, that not everybody necessarily has naturally. You know, maybe you can learn some of it. I don't know. But yeah, they've definitely helped to grow Comicsgate.
And you get better at it at time, with time. I mean, I'm better at it. Ethan, if you go back to his earlier videos, he's much better at it now. I mean, I'm sure you're better at it. I'm not sure you're better at it, but you know, I assume. So anyways, Chowderhead D for $4.99. I got back into drawing and Comicsgate because of EVS and DNC. Sorry I didn't go into order of who started the movement. Yeah, it's not about who started the movement. I'm just saying why are you here now? Who brought you in to Comicsgate? Because that's what Ethan and Richard have been doing, is growing this freaking space. And that's what I'm trying to do by reaching outside of just the Comicsgate. And I mean, John, we've talked about this before. That's what everyone's job should be, is to be like reaching outside the pie, trying to bring people into the pie, you know? And that way, growing the entire pie for everybody who's in the pie.
Yeah.
It's about the pie.
Do the opposite of mainstream. You know, don't be so insular and reach out and bring in new faces. People who may never have lifted a comic in their life. But, you know, through being entertaining and engaging, perhaps we can convince these people to buy. And that's good for comics all over.
Yeah, and we hear from those people all the time. Those are my two favorite people to hear from. The I've never picked up a comic before guy, and the I haven't bought a comic in 15 years guy. You know, that means that we're getting people that aren't in the market, and we're creating a new market. You know, so
yep, pull in new people, pull in old people, make everyone happy. It's a formula for success. I do believe that.
I believe it too, my brother. Yeah, I was in there.
That's also why I hate to see this infighting. You know, I encourage it when people reach out to try to get a hold of me for Comicsgate Presents. You know, be patient, be polite. You know, look, your channels may not grow as quickly as other people's. It could be a 5-year investment in your life. You know, but my first email to, and I say this all the time, but like my first email to Tom Brevoort was 2006. And in that I say, hey, Tom, haven't written you in 2 years. And I didn't get hired by Tom Brevoort until like 2015. So this takes patience. You know, you building a channel, if it takes you a year, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand when people are older, they're like, I don't have all that time. And I can understand why you might have that sense of impatience. But to these younger people, look, guys, you got all the time in the world to start building these channels out and get to a high subscriber base and hone your craft and become really good at it. It might take a couple of years. It may take 5 years for you to get to an audience of like, say, 60,000. Not everyone has that little bit of charismatic magic. And but once you do, you'll be successful. So just don't try and take everybody out on your way to the top. And you'll have friends there that are there for you as well. And that's really the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and don't be freaking envious, you know? I mean, it's one thing to respect that other people are doing better than you. If anything, figure out what they're doing right and try to emulate it. You know, don't sit there and just be. That's what I'm talking about. You know, the pie just visualizes it all, because these guys have gone from being, you know, 20% of the pie to being like 1% of the pie, and it just seems like they're getting overshadowed. But it's like, man, you probably still have grown your channels over the last year and a half, whatever it's been. Don't be envious because superstars come in. It's not like they're sucking up your oxygen. You've got your people, right? They're just
if your audience has grown, then you're doing everything right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we can't There's only one Ethan. There's only one Richard. There's only one John Malin. And I'm Popeye.
What?
You don't remember that?
Uh,
Popeye? Oh, you didn't watch Popeye?
I watched it. I can't quote it.
Oh, there was one episode where there was a fake Popeye. And the guy, there's like, there's only one Brutus, there's only one olive oil, and there's only one Popeye. And then the other Popeye goes, and I am Popeye. And then he punches him. But anyway. FUK Google 2 for $2. Malin, are you a sanguine voice in this loony bin?
Am I? I don't know. I guess.
Hey guys, I'll since there's so many of you here now, let me grab this link again. My friend Jenny from I've known her since middle school. She got a botched surgery. Go look at this link. Check out this beautiful woman and what happened to. She had a gastrointestinal surgery mishap, and man, she looks like she's 80 pounds. She's it's really sad. So please, if you're gonna super chat me, send it there instead, and just let me know, and then I'll read your tweets. I would appreciate it. Your tweets. I'll read your tweets on my super chats. Malin, Mike, and Ethan are all quite sane in all this.
I hope so. Look, you know, things are going to get heated from time to time, and England even said, like, the first time we ever even conversated, it was a heated discussion like that. But you know, we get along just fine, I think.
I never even heard of that guy until today.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
No. I've been aware of him for a long time. So, yeah, he's a good guy, I think. But you know, any kind of friendship, whatever, you have ups and downs, and ours started on a down because I believe I was arguing with him because he had B. Clay Moore on, and B. Clay Moore was talking a bunch of trash about me, if I do recall. So I went in there and defended my Anna. So, that was my introduction to his channel, and I've been on it a good handful of times. So no, I do like the guy.
All right. Well, everyone in the chat kept calling him a soy boy.
Yeah. Well, I think people. I think I've heard criticism that he's kind of like rides the fence a little bit on things, but I mean, he wants to be diplomatic. So other people want to go for blood, and they may benefit more from that. Again, someone like early Richard or early Ethan, who were a little bit more abrasive. Englantine's a little bit more, I don't know, diplomatic. So.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, that is good then. Jay Simmerly for $2. Support Comicsgate because I'm scared of Malin as it should be. Alrighty then.
No one should support Comicsgate because they're afraid of me at all. Support Comicsgate because you want to make a better future for independent creators, and support Comicsgate because you want people to be treated well and respected. So a lot of reasons. Don't be into Comicsgate because you're afraid of me.
But if you are afraid of John Malin, then do support Lone Star, Part of the Hero, or he'll come after you.
Yeah. I'll be coming after Mike if he doesn't shut it down before it gets to 106.1.
I just uploaded all of the colors except for the last page because I have to do a patch on it. And the letterer is starting on it tonight, so it should be very soon. Off to the printer. Off to the printer.
Nice. Who's your letterer?
Bill Tortellini.
Oh, okay.
I was using David Lanfear, but I don't know. Bill's kind of like always been my guy. So Dave's the one that lettered the sample pages, and but I'm gonna have Bill do the rest of it. Actually, I'm gonna have Bill redo the whole thing.
Well, you have a lot of pages on your campaign.
I've got 48 pages.
All on here?
No,
Is
no,
that your
no.
whole book?
No.
How many pages are on your campaign?
Like 10?
Like 20? Unless
Well,
it's repeating on me or something.
It's the black and white and then the color.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, geez. That's your whole book.
Yeah, it's about a fifth of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me show you. So you already saw page 1, right? I finished up page 2 today. If you want to take a look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks awesome.
I gotta keep talking so people can see it on the screen. You can lock it if you want. All right, there.
Yeah, you did all that today then?
I inked it all today. I think
great.
Yes.
Every little blade of grass is in there.
Yes. I did not cheat on the grass.
Yeah. I would have cheated.
Even the friggin' lace. Why did I do lace?
Jeez.
All right.
You're a machine though, Mike.
All right, you can.
I do respect you for what you're able to throw down in a day, man.
Well, thank you, John.
Sure. That's a 2-day job for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, just what to do that from front to back. That's 2 days. I would probably done the anchor panel first, and then I would have finished off the other ones the next day. I'm lazy.
You're not lazy.
I just do a lot of back and forth on my stuff. So
Giro Copter, I'm not gonna read that. I don't want to get all divisive on stream. All right, so please don't. Rob says, did I mention that I hate Mike? Rob, you did not mention that, but thanks for bringing it up. I don't know why you hate me, but you're welcome to your opinion. Although I don't know why you're on my stream if you hate me. I hope you're being sarcastic. If you're not, I'm going to go cry. All right. Mike is a well-oiled machine. What? No, I took a shower. My hair's fine. Ethan just sounded depressed at the end of that debate. Ethan sounded depressed about halfway through the debate, like he just did not want to be there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, I was on Rose stream, the war campaign stream, just watching, I typed in the chat a couple times, and then Ethan's like, oh, why don't you come in? And I was like, yeah, it's really not fair that Ethan has to take all this heat, and constantly keep defending Comicsgate, and, we're all kind of, sitting back in the audience. On one hand, I want to grab, the popcorn with everybody else and be like, yeah, all right. But then I'm like, on the other hand, it's just not fair to Ethan to put him through all that stuff and not have backup, 2-on-1 type deals. And, so, he invited me. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get in there and do some stuff. But yeah, I feel Ethan gets put in a bad spot. And I think he was definitely tired. Definitely at the end. He was like falling asleep.
I think he got all his steam up at the beginning.
Yeah, it was pretty heated in the beginning, and I feel definitely as keep cooling down. I always feel bad when I lose my cool and stuff, but I mean these things just keep popping up, and I keep saying the same thing to people all the time about how everyone has their own channel, and everyone has the right to build their own channel and launch their projects from that. But at the end of the day, and we
stopping anybody from doing anything.
Right. And but everybody keeps eyeballing and picking at Ethan, and I'm just like, man, it's not Ethan's fault he's successful. Well, it is his fault. He worked hard, he planned it, and he did very well with it. So people just keep wanting to take him down a notch. And I told Englentine and Unranked right when we were in that muted section, I said, hey, get a hold of me in a day or two, or whenever you guys go on, that you both can be on, and we'll have like a post wrap up of this thing. And so if they have any unresolved kind of questions or whatever, I'll be hopping on Englantine's stream to discuss this stuff further. But hopefully, I feel like at the end we're all kind of on the same page. But unranked at the end kind of made me feel like he wasn't done yet. So we'll see. I'll give him the opportunity to vent on me.
Yeah, I think I've been on with him one time. I know it was on Ethan's stream. Mellow E for $5. Different people, different perspectives. I strongly disagree with both of you with how Rakita Law's stream went today. Okay.
Disagree in how though? I mean,
yeah, I know. I mean, well, I agree with your disagreement. What are I don't know what you. We need specifics, man. Specifics.
I think it went well. I think it could have went better, and we all could have been like, "Yay, Comicsgate! Hail Comicsgate!" and left. So, but other than losing my cool a bit, I think it actually went pretty well. I think points were made and addressed. And I think Nick Ricada made a lot of money on his super chats.
Nick, if Nick's going to be a moderator on a debate, Nick needs to start moderating. Because for a long periods of time, there's just people yelling over each other. He's got a mute button. He can call on people and mute the other, and he's just like...
Yeah, like it sounded like Ethan, at least on my end, it sounded like when Ethan and Englantine were talking that Ethan would actually be drowned out by Englantine. I was just like, these guys aren't, neither of them really making points here, but
yeah. And it just turns into mud on this end of it, Yeah, so I forget. Rob said that he was jealous of my skills, so that's why he hates me. So it was sarcasm. Unranked made too many cheap shots. What do you think about that, John? Cheap shots?
I don't know. Be more specific, I guess.
People, we need specifics.
Yeah.
Chat specifics. James Hayes, Nick is there to get drunk while making easy money. He's a smart guy. Well, that's why he's a lawyer.
Yeah, that's true.
When he was a kid, they told him, "You're never gonna make a living by drinking," and he's like, "I'll prove you wrong."
Yeah, watch me.
Bagel Goose says EVS talked over everyone. I didn't find that to be the case. I thought Ethan was pretty laid back tonight. I mean,
yeah, maybe a little, but that goes back to the moderating thing. Once I think it was kind of laid down, I think everybody for the most part wasn't over talking each other by the middle and end. In the beginning, it was a bit of a free for all, and I think that carried on for a little bit.
Yeah. Ethan's probably tired, and I mean, he's usually just waking up about now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he even sounded tired at the end of War Campaign, and I think he even mentioned something about sleeping. And I was talking to Nick Ricado before everybody else got in there, because I'm there first. I'm not the what is it, the
Johnny Come Lately?
Yeah, the late one. Conveniently late, or whatever that expression is. I'm too tired now. But yeah, I get in there nice and early, and I'm just like, I hope Ethan's not sleeping through this. But he made it.
Yeah,
so.
You never know. Ethan,
yeah,
strange sleeping habits. So
yeah, him and the other guys, all three of them showed up at like the last, I don't know, minute.
What is it with people? It's like that every freaking week on Drawn and Quartered. It's like you and me and waiting for everyone to show up. Edwin's on time.
Right. Yeah. We're punctual. We're punctual people. We'll get there early and hang out.
That is correct. Does anyone have a link to EVS's new channel? Yeah. So Ethan's starting a new channel, I hear.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking for that link too because I looked for it earlier and
Someone said
I
it's
couldn't find it on my tablet.
Comic Pro Time.
Oh really? Huh. It's a weird name.
B Chandler for $1.99. Can't we all be one happy family? Love for all Comicsgate. Yeah, and I made a somewhat angry video this morning, and you know me, I don't like doing angry videos, but it was just all this stuff, all of this ridiculous infighting and trying to tear down Ethan, and it ended up being like a video like in defense of Ethan, but I wasn't trying to. It was just like I get so irritated with people trying to tear him down for perceived slights or jealousy or whatever their reasons are. It's like, man, the guy has done so much for everyone in this movement. Every creator who's I mean, even if they haven't been on our shows, on Ethan's show, you know, there's bleed over. There's, like you said, rising tide lifts all boats. Man, there's guys who haven't been on Ethan's show have probably made 15, 20 grand on an Indiegogo, which, as far as Indiegogos are concerned, that's really successful. You know?
Yeah.
Antonio.
Look at your son, Mike. Look what you raised.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Antonio Malpica, $2. All Caps Comics is his new YouTube channel. Is it really?
Oh, okay.
So the other person was apparently lying. Do not lie on my chat, people. I do not take kindly to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. All right. Oh, no, that ain't right. 272 subscribers? No, he's got 1,160. Why does it show two different numbers? Ridiculous. Oh. Now, so what, can he live stream from there, or does he have to start all over?
Start all over.
You have to. It's still a separate channel, my son says. What?
Oh, dang.
Mellow E for $5. Cut your hair, hippie. Jealous of your hair. Blacklist Universe. All right, thank you. I'll cut it when it gets a little longer. Now I gotta pop my chat back out. What the heck happened? Boomerville. I'm living in Boomerville. We should do a song. I'm living in Boomerville.
Oh yeah, he can stream. He just can't super chat.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, you have to have. I mean, I'm sure he can get there.
Oh yeah, he'll totally get there. It's going to take a month. Or no. Yeah, well, it'll take a month after he hits the qualifiers.
Well, what is he doing? Is he also streaming there, or is he uploading videos there?
Right now I only saw one video on there. I think it was one of his short ones.
Because that's one thing you could do if you start a secondary channel, is you could do all of your edited, produced videos there. You know, you can clip out funny stuff from your live streams and then just, you know, do little 5-10 minute videos and pop them up in there.
Right.
He said it's for streams. See, he's doing this out of fear of losing his channel.
Yeah, all he has on there right now is a 12-minute clip video. Black Series Sand Trooper and Dewback. So yeah, I guess he's just maybe he's just doubling up. Whatever he puts on one, he'll put on the other. I'm gonna check his actual channel and see if he has that same one.
How would he lose his first channel? Ebola Jones, that umbrella guy just got his channel struck down for what, 90 days? 90 days. Ethan makes more on his channel than he did working full-time at DC. So if he got struck down for 90 days for some bull crap like they did to Tug, dude, that'd be a lot of money he'd be losing, unless he could whip up another channel real quick. But then what happens is, even if you get to that 1,000 subs and you get to that 4,000 hours of view time, then you have to go into review, which can take a month.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's not something you want to do at the last possible minute. Antonio Malpica for $5. For crying out loud, you boomers! He live streamed this morning. It's back up because of the strikes. Ren already planning to target this new one. I wasn't doing Antonio's voice or anything. That was just that's just some random voice. I was like,
English man.
Bad job. Yeah. Do you know what the strike was for the Mark Wade video?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention either.
Yeah.
I can't pay attention to everything all the time.
Yeah.
But
everything I know is all bits and pieces anyways, so like I had even researched what Englentine and them were going on about. So before I even got on there, I tried to, listen to what they were saying on their channel and, figure out what their position was exactly. So I'm playing catch up to know exactly what's going on. I'm in my own world. So I pay attention to my Twitter and getting stuff going for me, and then over here with Drawn and Quartered and Aloha Hour, and
hold on, someone is speaking out of a great deal of ignorance here. Steve LaData, 80,000 subscribers is about $620 a month. Big money, bigger than DC. Sure, super chats take 30% of all chats. Big money. He's rolling in it. Dude, I have 3,600 subscribers, and I make over $1,000 a month on a bad month. 80,000 subscribers. Do the math, dude.
Yeah, not to mention when he's on a roll and doing 2 live shows a day.
Oh yeah, man, those super chats freaking, yeah. I mean, most of the money is super chats, but I mean, Ethan's told me how much he's making, and trust me, you would be jealous.
Yeah, I'm sure. But also, he's got merchandising, the T-shirts, the Cyber Frog. Is it a chess piece? I haven't heard much about that lately. Yeah, no, Ethan's doing very well.
Oh yeah,
even without Cyber Frog, he's doing very well.
Yep, Cyber Frog's just gravy, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of gravy.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, and that's just it, man. Is Ethan doesn't get enough credit. I don't think for how much work he does put in. I mean, it's not just him drawing the book. He is. I mean, he's dealing with us. He's dealing with reading up all these Star Wars articles, and then he's got to be on the defense of everyone that's attacking him on all sides. And it's not a position you would necessarily want to be in. There's a great deal of reward for it, but he's got a huge target on his back, and that's going to take a toll.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm dropping the link to my friend Jenny's GoFundMe. She could use some financial help. If you guys want to check it out and see if you want to help her, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Social Blade estimates upward of $3,000 a month for Cap's channel. Social Blade, is that the one that tells you how much everybody's channel, the range of how much they can make? Dude, I know a guy whose brother makes like 90 grand a month on YouTube, and he doesn't even do super chats.
Jeez. PewDiePie?
Yeah, no, he's got like 900,000 subs.
God, can you imagine what PewDiePie makes?
I couldn't even.
He doesn't even live stream.
Yeah, he doesn't even live stream. You don't even have to live. Yeah, at that point,
He's got like, I think 60 million subscribers, something stupid like
69. It's been a big thing because he's competing with the other top T-Series, the other top site. So
oh, is that the name of another channel, T-Series?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the next biggest channel that's going to take over as the most subscribed channel on YouTube.
Oh, now it's PewDiePie, and PewDiePie's trying to keep up on top, eh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
69 million. Oh my! I couldn't imagine.
I hear PewDiePie is Comicsgate adjacent.
Well, after what he's gone through with the media and everything, it's like.
Yeah, we should have him on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get my people on it.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, I was thinking about doing, how like when somebody draws our stuff, we always share it and stuff. I think I should just start drawing some pictures of PewDiePie and tweeting him.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be huge, man. If he wanted to do comics or something, jeez.
Yeah, right. John Wallace says Markiplier. Markiplier is a flaming leftist.
Oh, yeah. I just, oh my gosh. After he released that gun control video, and like, he said we should ban the AR-15 because it's a fully automatic assault rifle.
Idiot.
I was just like,
Idiot. Comic Historian's one of us.
I don't know. Because he kind of took a dump on Comicsgate. Am I mixing these guys up? I don't know.
No, you're not mixing them up, but you're misunderstanding what he was saying. He was about to name someone in particular who was being a douche, but he didn't want to name him, so he covered it up with saying Comicsgate because he is in Comicsgate, but he wasn't meaning to berate the entire movement, and he's not going to come out and say he's Comicsgate because he's like he doesn't want to. He's got 9 people on staff. He's got deals with DC and Marvel and all these people, so he doesn't want to get political.
Yeah, to his credit, he did write me in a DM when we had a brief little spat, and so there's that. I wonder who the douchebag was.
I can tell you.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me off stream.
All right.
Because I'm just wondering. You know how we were just talking about that kiwi farms yesterday?
Yeah.
So I went on there to find out what it was all about, and then I saw that they had leaked something from me, and I know exactly who leaked it because I called the guy a douchebag. I was just wondering if it's the same douchebag. So, yeah, it is funny. The conversation of that actual DM is just hilarious. I wish you would have leaked the whole thing. Just a joke.
B3 Chandler for $4.99 says the kill stream Ralph Retort moved over to stream.me and is doing very well. Comicsgate should consider the same if strikes and shenanigans keep getting worse. Is Chandler, if you could respond to this, is stream.me decentralized? Because that's kind of the thing, any centralized authority running a company can. Am I out again now? No. I mean, he's just Benny's a conservative, more or less. So he's, ideologically, he's in line with a lot of us. He's definitely not an SJW, even though his hair sometimes can fool you. but he does not want to get political on his show because he's got people to take care of. So
yeah.
Now
I'm trying to dig up the leak because I don't want to show I don't want to show the actual deal, but I can show the leak.
Oh, the chat. No. The chat that you were just on. Hold on a second. All right, I had Elijah type it to you. Did you see it in the chat?
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same guy?
Not the same guy.
Story is Gay Glasses is the douche. Gay Glasses guy. What happened to Gay Glasses guy?
What's that?
Oh, that's Brett Smith.
Oh, why does he have gay? Why is he called Gay Glasses guy?
Because you know his icon is him wearing these aviator glasses.
Yeah.
He looks like George Michael.
Oh, really? Oh, I never thought of it that way. But okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm over here trying to skim through these and see if I can find the leak. It was just surprising. I was like, wait, what? I mean, it was like when Blitzkrieg happened, because I was just kind of like zoned out, and then I hear all of a sudden, I think it was, Ethan was playing the video, and then I hear like John Malin, and I was like, wait, what? And here I am trying to see like, ooh, what kind of leaks are going on here? And then I see one of mine from just a couple days ago. I was like, geez. It's just funny because in this conversation, the guy even tells me he's going to leak it, and then he says, "No, I'm not going to do that because it's bad business," and then he does it. I'm just like, get out of town. Okay.
Hey, dude, that poll has 831 votes now.
Yeah.
832. You know what's funny though is I put John De La Rose on there. And he got 9 votes, about 1%. I just thought that was funny because, and I don't want to bag on John, but I just remember him saying, you know, I started Comicsgate, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, you didn't bring people with you.
Yeah. I don't even have time for all of that. Let's see.
Panda says Benny and Comics Explained have taken pot shots at comic skaters like Rich. I haven't seen that. I don't think Comics Explained is quite as conservative minded as Benny is. But yeah, I know they like do shows together and stuff.
Yeah, you can take little shots at people here and there. I mean, but it's when you throw down, you know, what happened with the comics historian guy.
Yeah.
Was you know, he said Comicsgate dummies, you know, or he lumped everybody into one big deal. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but he explained that to me in a DM. So
yeah, I gotcha. My window is freezing, so if you lose me.
That's all right. Elliot Fernandez for $2 says something I don't want to read.
Fernandez? What would he say?
You gonna make me read it?
Yeah.
It says, Malin, you are the man.
Oh. Thanks, Elliot.
I was complimenting you while you weren't here because I don't compliment you while you are here.
Oh. Sounds about right. Oh boy. Wow, yeah, doing this screen share and it totally locked up my Google Hangouts. Like it's all big white or half white screen here.
Oh man.
So apparently I'm not going to be able to do this. I might have to, I don't know, restart. Anyways, take my word for it. There's a Kiwis Farm leak of a DM that I had just like 2 days ago. And the guy who said, at first he threatened he was going to leak it. Then he's like, almost like thinking out loud. And he's like, oh, no, never mind. That would be bad business, but you suck. That's what he said. I'm just like, okay. Oh, it was so funny. To me, it was funny.
I smell Taco Bell.
You smell Taco Bell? Did mommy bring home food? Go find out, because I'm hungry. Call V, get his take. No, it's 12:30 here. I gotta get up early. We're gonna drive up to the mountains tomorrow, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Malin, you want to take this crowd of 416 people to your channel, or are you gonna go to bed? Malin, did I lose you? I think I lost Malin.
I'm back.
You're back.
In 2 forms, apparently.
Oh.
I got dropped out, locked out.
Dropped out, locked out. Oh,
Doo,
yeah.
doo, doo.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying that it's 12:34 a.m. I have to go up to the mountains tomorrow with my families. So, do you want to take this crowd over to your channel and continue
Oh
this?
no! Oh no! I'm ready for bed.
You're ready for bed too?
I just wanted to pop in and see what all was going on over here. So thanks everyone for checking out the discussion on Nick Rekieta. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead. And yeah, thanks Mike for having me on again. And what are you doing in the mountains, man?
We're just going to Big Bear. Go up there
okay.
for the night and chillax, get away from the house.
Yeah, nice. Well, have a good, safe trip. And are you going to be back tomorrow night or the next day? What?
No, I'll be back on Monday.
Oh,
I
okay.
might. I might
yeah,
do short videos or something up there. I don't know.
Okay. Well, whatever. Don't put yourself out for it, man. Have a good time and relax and unwind and yeah. So see you guys Monday then on Aloha.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Love to everyone in Commonsgate. Be kind to one another. Be slow to anger, quick to forgive, and just chill, man. Just chill. All right, guys. Good night. Aloha.
Aloha.
Take me out of here, boy.